Okay, welcome to another MG Rogue Thursday broadcast, a live stream D&D mini painting session. This is session 2, actually. We're waiting on the Rational DM, Mr. Rollo Tomasi, and you get Robert and I for now. Not that, what the hell? Hang on a second. Oh, it's okay. I can answer that text later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
work related or fun related?
Fun related. So, all right, cool. I see your wet palette. Yeah, I've got mine. I'll set up in a moment. But I got mine there too.
Yeah, I may have to break down eventually and get a second camera just so we can, like when we're gaming and stuff, we could do one where it's on me and one where it's on the dice rolls. That way, you know.
Oh yeah, just switch between the cameras. I know with
Yeah.
if I upgrade, I have the business plan. Oh, there's 3 levels of StreamYard. There's the basic. I have the mid grade, and there's a pro plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that allows you to multicam.
Gotcha.
So, but tonight I'm doing. I'm gonna paint this owlbear.
Oh, cool.
So, and he comes with a little paint chart, like what
Is
paints to use. So,
that one of the new WizKids owlbears for 5th edition D&D or?
well, this on the bottom says owlbear.
Uh-huh.
Copyright 2018 Wizards. So it's probably Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, Wizards and WizKids have merged together to do stuff with minis. So
okay, so they're equally woke.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, there's a gaming shop near my buddy Gabe, in Westmont on Haddon Avenue. It's on the corner. It's fairly large. They used to have a large back room for card games, and now they've removed that, and it's Warhammer minis and the fantasy Wizards of the Coast D&D minis. So that's cool. I like to go there and get my my stock.
Yeah, I always try to shop local as far as that kind of stuff goes, just to help out local businesses as far as well, in a lot of different ways. I do that with like record shops and music and everything else, but there are some things that there are only certain ways to get certain things, especially with certain CDs. So for example, there's a company in the UK called Rock Candy. They have a magazine which is very much in the style of old Cream magazines and things like that, old rock magazines from the 70s and 80s. And but they also have a record label where they remaster and re-release a lot of albums that are basically out of print, so they're almost impossible to get, and they're things sadly most record stores don't carry, and since even things like Target and so forth don't really carry music. So for example, here is a release from them, from a band from the Southwest called Icon, and
cool.
Remastered, reloaded. They have really great liner notes, and these are things you can buy, from Amazon or from like a CD Universe or whatever. But I go on ahead and buy them straight from Rock Candy in the UK. That way, they make the profit off of it direct, and they get the most out of their profit margin. But they also ship them to the US for free. So free shipping from the UK is absolutely worth it. They've always been really great to deal with, have excellent customer service. So if you're into old rock music, I mean, they remastered and re-released some old REO Speedwagon albums, bands like White Sister, Icon, Orion the Hunter, which basically was composed of members of the band Boston, with the exception of Mr. Schultz, because it was released around the time that Boston was having issues with their record label and not producing anything. So Tom Schultz isn't a part of it, but you still got some other members from Boston. It's a really good album. So You Ran's probably the best known track since that was the solo release or the single release from the album. But anyway, this is not rock talk. This is geek talk for music and for painting and stuff, not music. But anyway, so yeah, support local where you can.
Agreed. Totally agree.
So are you just going to be working on the owlbear tonight, or are you going to be doing a couple of miniatures? I have a habit of, I'll pick a color and I'll work on several miniatures that need that shade of blue or that metallic or what have you. So
okay. I have a tendency to do one at a time.
Okay. And then one of the things I've got here that you can kind of see is a hobby paint shaker, which you basically just, and you can, it'll fit that, or for example, one of the Tamiya hobby paints. So you can fit either or in it and just fasten it in, and then it'll agitate the paint, which I will do, but I'm going to mute while I do it because you don't need to hear the obnoxious noise it makes. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard noises similar to that for different reasons. But
it's true. I've usually been the ones that are kicking that noise off.
So, speaking of noises, have you gotten your Instagram back?
No, I have not.
Okay.
They canceled the Masculine Geek Life and the Masculine Geek, both accounts. I was talking to Modern Life John. He's like, "Oh, it's because of the tits." Like, I didn't even show nipples. He's like, "Well, I could see some of the areola." I'm like, "Come on, really?" That's
wow.
But the thing is, I didn't get a warning.
Mm-hmm.
I just got shut down. So, but like I said yesterday, I'm done. I just don't care anymore.
A slight areola crescent was all it took. I figured they just targeted you because you had masculine in your title.
Well, that too. I mean, I still think we get somewhat throttled. Not that we're any great channel, but I still think we get throttled on YouTube for our masculine being in the title.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So, it's pretty fucking ridiculous.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to get started. I'm going to come around the other side here. Let me bring up the show on my phone so I can see. There we go. You can see the chat. Yeah. All right, I won't be able to. New controls now. Unless I actually. Let me mute. Probably. Let me mute this. Then I can play what we're seeing. I can see what we're seeing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that your owlbear looks similar to this young blue dragon. If I can get that where the glare's not quite on it.
I can't see it. There's a bit of a delay.
Yeah. But
oh. Oh, no, I see it. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's similar to probably the same mold they used for the pre-painted ones that come in with the gaming miniatures, but I always kind of like painting my own anyway.
Right.
I just wish I had more time to do so like I did in my youth, but...
Indeed. I remember staying up all night. What's up, Amos? Who you calling nerd, you fucking cock? I think Rollo's here.
Ah, there he is.
Let me tripping over the fucking wires. There you are, you son of a bitch. I think you're muted.
That, or he just doesn't want to talk to us.
He's like, I'm just gonna paint. Fuck you guys. I'm just gonna cough and die. All right, so let me. I'm doing the owlbear, and it's got a bit of a paint by numbers thing, which is good for me because I'm just getting back into the swing of things. So I do not need my glasses to read this, but I do need to figure out if I have the right paints here. I may have to. Nope. Nope. I have nothing here. Son of a bee. Abyssal black, which I need. That's there. And then Flump pink, Trent green. Fuck, it's in the other. All right, it's in this other bastard over here. So I gotta maneuver shit around.
Oh, of course.
Got my oil lamp going. Got some extra brushes. I gotta cut off that one there. This is kind of cool. Put those there.
All right, while you're doing that, I need to grab a pen so I can open up one of my paints that is dried a little bit at the tip. So
the tip counts.
Yes, tip.
Fucking A, the tip.
Counts.
Fucking A, the tip counts. What?
No, I'll be right back. So this is all on you, Vince, unless Mr. Tomasi wants to say something clever.
Say something clever, Rollo. All right, so I'm looking for O2 brown. So there's O2 brown. I need orc skin. What the fuck is orc skin? Probably on this fucking second level. It's like pain in the ass. Orc skin, there we go, orc skin. And then I need owlbear brown. There's owlbear brown, because this is indeed an owlbear that I am painting. I need fire newt orange. What is this? This is fire newt orange. And pixie dust pink. Well, that's pretty gay. All right, so there we go. All right, let's make sure if that goes back in the exact same configuration that sort of, kind of. Put that there. Let's get the cover back on. Did it, Amos? They gave off rainbow colors, or is that just you making some fucking shit up? You big fucking nerd. I don't need that. I do not need those yet. I'll use this basic set of brushes. So as you can see, I got a lot of paints here. Here's my wet palette. Keeps the paints moist. Keeps them from drying out. Let's shake these up. So the base colors here are 6.
You guys hear me?
We can, yeah. Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, now I see it. Okay, hang on a second.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Got it. I don't understand.
How come I can't?
I don't have it
I just responded to you in the chat.
There we go. Input 1 2 1 2. I know you guys can hear me.
Yes. Can you
There
hear
we
me?
go. Why am I not able to hear you guys though?
Test 1 2.
Question.
We can hear you. So there's the owlbear that I'm painting. So what should I do first? Well, the chest is orc skin. So maybe I'll do that. And then we've got so orc skin and owlbear brown.
Rollo jump off or?
Yeah, I think he's having problems with his audio. He had that last time because he's got a different configuration now.
Gotcha. A tool for problematic paints, not to be confused with an IUD.
Right. Oh, and shadow wash. I suppose I should have brought that out. I'll save that for last. I have another figure too. I've got from Diablo. Is it Diablo? Minsk and Boo.
Mm.
I think that was from Diablo. That's the Minsk is the barbarian fighter, and Boo is the hamster on his shoulder.
Ah, gotcha.
Like a little. You can hardly see the fucking hamster. It's like a little. Looks like a turd on this side. I don't know.
So
Some
kind
of these,
of like Grot and his.
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah.
I have a more bad. Grot has a more badass animal companion.
Oh, this is definitely true.
Everyone seems to like the badger.
Yes.
All right, so this is relatively wet. It's damp, so I'll go with that. All right, I'm going to get out the orcs. I'm going to do the, well, since you're close to your computer.
Yes, I am.
You could, when Raul comes in, you have admin power, so you could let him in.
Yes, I most certainly will if I see him pop up.
'Cause I can hear him pop up, but I'm not near the computer.
Gotcha. Not a problem.
So,
I can take care of that.
Thank you. All right, so let me get the medium-sized brush, and these are, I think these are a red sable. Let me wet it, kind of moisten. I'm going to moisten. There he is.
Yep, there he is.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
we can hear you.
Yep.
I was having problems. I don't know what the hell.
You had some problems last time we did this too.
Yeah, I'm using I have a new laptop, by the way, that I'm trying out for the first time with this show. So I have it. I've got it. Whenever I do this, I have to like drag my whole rig over to my hobby table. And so when I do that, it's like I got to rearrange things. But I think I'm just gonna leave this rig set up over here because I don't really use the Sony unless I'm like traveling or something like that. So, and then I've got my can you hear me okay with the mic? I'm using the earbuds again.
Yeah, you sound good.
Oh, good.
You sound pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm always a little sketchy about using that. So I have not come over here since the last time we painted, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you guys give me a reason to come over here to do it.
No,
right. I feel like I got to give myself permission to like go and like have fun and just do something that I don't get paid for. You know?
Exactly.
Did you
get paid in different ways
or anything?
Yeah.
What's that?
Tweet this shit out.
Or retweet
oh yeah.
this out
Hang on 1 second. I'll take care of it.
Tweet out the YouTube. That'll be good. That could for us. I mean, we're a small channel. We got good engagement from the last D&D game. Almost 1,000. We had Mac on last night. We got good response to that. This is working out good. This is a pretty good color. This orc skin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not liking this primer though. This orc or this bone primer. It's a little too sticky. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it.
I used to pretty much exclusively use Flowquill spray primer for all lead miniatures, and have always had really good results with it. It also works really well with resin garage kits and things like that. But Reaper makes a brand of paint on primer, which I've been trying lately, at least with the plastic and styrene miniatures. Tonight I'm working on a batch of Klingon ships. I've got the classic D7 from the original series Star Trek.
That's cool.
And then these are FASA inspired ships from
before they took a shit.
Yeah.
So you got one of those too. I got one of these as well. I know you got one of those.
Yeah.
These are worth every penny, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Were they expensive?
I don't know, what, like $20 maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
They're making a godly amount of noise though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that sounds like a fucking Hitachi vibrator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hitachi. Good brand.
D11.
Well, that's on my girls. That's how I force orgasm them. Yes, indeed.
Are you a good girl? Yes, you are. I got
that's
the
right.
Hitachi. Here's the Hitachi.
You dirty little whore, you.
Here's the Hitachi. Okay.
That's right.
K23.
I had one of my external hard drives take a shit today, so I had to go down to Best Buy for
Best Buy.
Yeah, well, it's time. Man. You know,
talk about Hitachi.
I kind of deserved it because it was an old. It's a HD drive, not an SSD, and I don't use anything but SSDs anymore because they always fall apart.
SSD is just like a large flash drive.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well worth the money though.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now, it's like if you can afford
nothing but it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a large gig SSD drive is the way to go.
Yes. Can you see that? Yeah. Wow.
What brand did you get? Did you go with a Mac?
What did I get? Well, I mean, I have a Macintosh as it is, but it was SanDisk.
Oh, SanDisk.
Looking at it right now, it's a 2 terabyte thing. Man, I'll tell you, that's more expensive, but like at least I don't have to worry about like, oh, am I going to lose all my shit? I mean, unless you lose the actual drive itself.
Yeah.
But it just stays here. I haven't taken it anywhere.
Okay. Lacy drives are cool. It's a French company, and they're redundant. You could RAID 5 them if you want to, and you can swap out the.
Oh, Amos is with us today too. I see. How come Amos is not playing? How come he's not with us today?
He doesn't. He plays, but he doesn't paint minis.
Oh, and Drew's not here either. Where's Drew?
Drew's watching as well, or at least he was.
Last time. Yeah, he was with us last time, right?
Yeah. He joined a little. Amos, Drew. If you guys want to join the stream, Robert or Rollo, I'm away from the computer. Rollo or Robert can send you the link.
Oh, isn't it already in the? It's in the DM, right?
Yeah. Well, no,
you can cut and paste it and DM them. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not near my computer.
It's just okay. So this is just you and me then, right? I thought they were in the Masculine Geek group here. Okay.
No, I did the.
You just gave it to us. Just the cool people.
Because the cool people that actually fucking paint.
Yes.
Is Rollo because Drew and Amos are lame.
Let's put it over here so they can
working out back in a few. Hurry the fuck up, dude. Jesus. Every time we talk to you, working out. Would you like a bodybuilder or something?
Yeah.
I put it in the Masculine Geek D&D chat in case everybody wants to get in.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That works.
But
I should have done that myself.
That's okay. No worries.
Should have done it myself, see? All right, so this I'm doing this Albert Raw. He's I want to get.
Let me see.
I want to get. I'm gonna see if I can find a badger.
That's a hella cool one. I got. Let's see. I got another one of these somewhere around here. owlbear? I thought I had owlbear somewhere.
Out working, Amos. Wait a minute. You're out working, but we should be flattered that you're out working. Yet you're watching Mexican Geek.
Look here. This is that's the owlbear.
There's a bit of a delay. There's a bit of a delay.
Oh, cool.
I'll comment on it once it comes up on my screen.
Rawr.
I'm a monster. Rawr.
Is this the one you have? Is this the one you have? Or do you have a different one? You have a different one.
I got the owlbear from Wizards of the Coast from 2018.
I think you might have a different one.
Probably. He's got.
I think I got. This is like the Marvelous Miniatures one, whatever the hell that is. I can't remember the name.
Oh, you're talking about
Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures.
Yeah.
Nolzur's. Oh, I have Nolzur's Marvelous Pigments, the monster paint set.
Those are good.
That's what I'm using now. Yeah.
Look, this right here. They used to give this guy away for. This was a trophy I won at one point for one of the Rogue Trader painting contests way back in like the early 90s, 91, 92. I don't know how much. I guess I should look this guy up. I wonder how much he's worth now. Not that I'm getting rid of it, but it's cool.
All right, so now I gotta paint it. What is his skin? Why is this not telling me? Oh, it's.
I've been working on a guitar for the last like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
the one you're building from scratch.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
that's
that one.
Cool.
That
what kind?
Well, the body is like, it looks like an Ibanez Destroyer, very similar to my Ibanez Destroyer, almost identical, except for the little front tip of it looks like an Iceman. So it's like an Iceman Destroyer hybrid. That's right. Nothing but the tip. Right. And then it's got it's just a one pickup thing. So and it's a static bridge. So it's a really easy build. But the hardest part is I'm still in the middle of lacquering it, because I had to stain it first. That was a big pain in the ass, but it was fun. At least it was creative pain in the ass. Now it's like I got to get up and like first thing in the morning, go out there, lacquer it, leave it in the sun, let it bake a little bit, bring it back in, put it out there again at about like 12 noon or 1 o'clock, lacquer it, and then go back out again right around 3 or 4, lacquer it, bring it back in. And then after, like, I think I'm on the 9th coat of lacquer right now. So once it gets solidified and it gets hard, I have to go and wet sand it, and so I can polish it out a little bit, and then I gotta go back and lay on probably. They tell you to put like 14 coats of lacquer before you start polishing.
14 coats.
Yeah, and it takes 3 coats a day, and then probably one can is about. One can is right around three usages. Like you're gonna hit it 3 times with one can.
Jesus.
So, and it's a can, right? So it's not like you're. I mean, I have an airbrush. I could actually do it with a spray, but I'm like, nah, I'll just do this because I've
just old school.
Old school it, but also there's a lot of videos on YouTube about it from Stuart McDonald's or something like that. They're a company where it's kind of like the Amazon for luthiers, and so I mean I'm not going to be like cutting my own wood or anything like that, but the finishing stuff that they have is really great. The electronics, they'll sell you pickups too, but I'd rather go to like bare knuckles or something like that.
Did you do anything fancy with the stain on the guitar, or did you just do it?
Yeah, I did actually, and I took the advice of Omer Deutsch. He's a guy who is a luthier out of Israel, and he made the OD guitar that's always hanging in back of me whenever I do my live streams. That's a luthier built. Like there's only one of those guitars in the world, and so. He was kind of help. Like I have a back and forth with him on Instagram, and he told me what to do and how to do the stains, and cool. Thin it down with acetone because it's much better than like using like ethanol, just alcohol. Right. And he showed me some tricks and everything, and the stain came out really good, and it's like exactly what I want it to be. So, and then I got the neck is a Wizard 2 Ibanez neck from an RG series guitar. And so it's a really fast playing neck, and it's flat, and I really like it. I can't wait to actually start playing it. But the headstock was already kind of like a stained cherry red, so I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm doing red. So, so that's what I went with, and it looks pretty good so far. I can't wait till I can get it polished out and see what it comes out looking like at the end. I've got a bare knuckles. What is it? Painkillers. I got painkillers. I was thinking that, or I was going to get a nail bomb for it, but like those are like pretty like good, very thick, heavy, genty kind of pickups for really high gain, high tone. There's the kind of stuff that I play. So I'm trying to, if I'm going to go to all this trouble, I'm going to make it exactly the way I want it to be for me.
Might as well.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
When you're working at that level, there's no reason to shortchange yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've already put like the neck itself was about $175. Well, it's not too bad because I didn't have to worry about getting a locking nut because I don't have a floating bridge. I don't have a Floyd Rose on it or anything like that. So then I got those little. The strings go through the body, so I got those little nacelles or whatever they are that go through the body. Those are dirt cheap. The bridge itself is a Goto bridge. The pickup, like I said, is going to be a painkiller from Bare Knuckles. Let's see what else I got going on. The bridge is pretty cool. Oh, and then I put what's the locking tuners from, what the hell's the name of locking tuners place? Hipshot locking tuners are on it, and the bridge is actually a Hipshot bridge too. So it's coming along. I mean,
That's cool.
I think by the time I'm done, I will probably have spent about $2,000 on the whole thing, but that's just because I wanted to. It's a project though. It's not like, I mean, I could go buy a cheaper guitar if I wanted to, but like it's
a bit of a labor of love. It's kind of cool, little hobby thing.
It's a project, right? So
exactly. Yeah. There's some pride in a job well done.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're playing it and you go, "Hey," people go, "Hey, where'd you get that guitar?"
This son of a bitch.
I built this freaking thing,
Yeah,
and it's cool because like I bought like a painting rig, a painting setup, so you can like turn the guitar all different angles and stuff. It was like it cost about $100 just for that tool, but I figured I'll use it again. I'm thinking about redoing this bass that I have once I'm done with this project, and then my other guitar, my other Ibanez Destroyer, I'm replacing the pickup, the bridge pickup in it. I got another bare knuckle silo, which is kind of a sort of like I forget who is it. Oh, Rabia plays silos, and so I'm like, I like the way he sounds. And so I went and picked that up. And there's some other good pickups. Man, the bare knuckles pickups are just so good, man. I mean, they're a little spendy, but they are so damn good. And then I've also got in the BC Rich I've got Fishmans in it, but those are active, so you got to make sure that you unplug the guitar, or you're going to kill the battery.
Right.
But I like them. I like them well enough. I used to be all about EMGs, and I still like EMGs because they kind of have that good like chunky Slayer sound to them. But so the EMGs are good, but they're kind of, I don't know, they're kind of showing their age, I guess. Like they're really hot back in the early 2000s. They're still fun. They're still good. A lot of people still play them, but Fishmans are where it's at, man.
All right. Okay. I'm getting an education tonight.
Yeah, Fishmans are really. Oh, then there's let's see what else. Is it Seymour Duncan? They have they have a pickup called the Nazgul.
Nice.
and they're pretty. They earned the name.
I like them already.
Yeah, there's Nazgul pickups too. I really like those Nazguls as well.
That's cool.
I think I want to say, I forget which. It might be Nazguls in CJ's guitar. CJ plays nothing but like ESP and LTDs right now. I think that's all he's got. And he got me into playing ESP guitars, and I like them well enough. But I'm not a guitar snob when it comes to stuff like that. I like my Kramers. I still like my Ibanez. I'll still still play those. Just, I mean, it's you know, it's not so
What
much
do you
a
think of
brand.
Gretsch guitars?
Gretsch is all right for like the, kind of rockabilly sound. I mean, they're like, when I think of Gretsch, I think of like big F-hole guitars,
Right.
Big giant, stray cat kind of thing. And it's cool. I mean, it's definitely a place for it. Also, jazz guitarists love Gretsch stuff. I like Gretsch.
Oh, yeah? I had no idea.
I forget the name of the they have a tremolo system, and I can't remember the name. They have a proprietary tremolo system for those big giant. It's almost like BB King style.
Lime green fucking Gretsch.
Yeah, I like Gretsch. I mean, but they're when I think of Gretsch, I think of like hollow body guitars. They're just cool. They're all right. That's nothing.
Well, I was always into like Eddie Cochran and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
for that, that's pretty. I don't have a jazz guitar. I would love to buy a hollow body jazz at some point. I've got my. You guys don't. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I have a guy out of Alabama, and he goes by Old Ragnar. And
nice.
he's very much like, maybe you know him, maybe you don't. He's sort of one of these old school guys. I don't know if he's in the SCA. He might be in the SCA, but he runs a company called Instrument Conversions or something like that. And he'll buy like dulcimers or like they look kind of like cigar box guitars, sort of. But he made me a custom job with like some Celtic art on it and some Norse art on it. And
that's cool.
He started giving me some. I said, I want to commission you for one of your things, because like I play, Irish bouzouki, and I've got a oud on the way too. A friend of mine.
The hell's that?
Turkey. An oud. OUD is it's an OUD is what it's called. It's kind of like a Middle Eastern Turkish / Moroccan Middle Eastern guitar.
Like a sitar kind of thing.
Well, no, it's like almost looks like a lute. Like it's the forerunner of like the Western lutes. Like if you ever listen to like if you play like World of Warcraft and you go like to the safe towns and you hear that in the back, that's probably like
almost like a dulcimer.
Kind of, yeah. You know you're safe when you hear that.
Okay.
You hear
your safe instrument.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Jesus Christ.
I know. It's funny.
So, are you happy to not be in the middle of writing a book at the moment?
I feel like I am right now, because I have been not rewriting, but I've been going back over the first book right now, and I have been fixing all the typos and all the syntax errors and everything I get reported for on
the grammar
Amazon.
Nazis coming after you.
No, Anthony Johnson's coming after me, because what they've been doing is they've been trying to get the book suppressed, and because they're dicks. That's why.
Well, there's that, but I thought there was like a
there is that. No, what they're doing is this has been happening. It's been ongoing for like the last probably like week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And they've done this before, but they've just sort of picked it back up again, probably because they're bored or they're just trying to attack everyone right now. But what they've been doing is what they'll do is they'll report the book for having typos or syntax errors. And all I do is just say, okay, I'll fix it, and then and then I come back to it. Right. Well, the problem is that what they're trying to do now is they're trying to figure out a way to get the book suppressed, because if you have too many quality issues with your book, then they'll take it down, right? Until you fix the issues and you put it back up again.
Well, I have a question. I mean, anyone can report a quote unquote quality issue. Does Amazon have a quality control wherein they check those complaints?
They do, but you got to remember that like Amazon, TJ probably knows this as well. Whenever you write a book, I think a lot of people think Amazon is way more professional than they actually are.
No, they're really. I've dealt with them.
They're
with my own
horrible.
writing. They're not. They're horrible.
Yeah, they're horrible, and you can never get like customer support.
No, there is no customer support.
Yes, and it's like forget about it. So there's. Just dealing with the bullshit. I think what's kind of ironic is I know what they're trying to do. They basically like this is the level of OCD that like Anthony Johnson and DDJ have. Is they'll seriously go through my book
and
read it. DDJ is his real name is Bob Lewis. He's the guy who makes all the hit piece videos about me and John.
Oh, is that the guy that wrote the feminist book?
Yes.
Okay.
He used to be really tight with Turk Flinging Monkey, and then they had their falling out, and then he decided to jump into bed with Anthony Johnson, and so whenever I see something as like OCD, anally retentive as doing what they do, I know whenever I see something like that, I know it's them, because they're the only people who have no life, right? They have no reason to not to do something like that, right? Their whole life for the last 3 years, it was like January
revolving around you.
I mean, June of 2019 was when Anthony lost his shit. And really, ever since then, his entire life has pretty much revolved around trying to take down my book, trying to take down anything that I do. Like if I go on Patrick Bet David, it's like he'll put out an attack piece video. Like that's why I have to keep shit like that private, because I don't promote it until like 2 or 3 days before, and then because I know what's going to happen is he throws out a hit piece video, because he just wants to fuck with me. That's all he lives for. And I mean, there's really nothing else to the guy at this point. And anybody who works with me, so if it's Donovan Sharp or if it's Fresh and Fit, like recently, like just today, Fresh and Fit got their Reddit page, their Reddit server, whatever it is, was taken down because of quote unquote hate speech, right? And and again, the community strikes that they got for that, you know who it's coming from, because they got the same strikes from YouTube from Anthony and DDJ back in February and then again in March, and they tracked them down and they know that it's them. Oh, so I mean, it's already been confirmed.
13th grade bullshit.
Yeah, and it's like I said, that's all they live to do. And so what they're trying to do with me right now, and you should probably watch out for this too as well, since you're an author, is they can only do so many, like if they say, oh, you got a typo here. Okay, well, that's one thing. But if they go and they say, oh, the images in your book are not legible or they're blurry or something like that, then there's a quality issue with the images. Then they can keep repeating that over and over again, because it sounds like somebody new has like discovered the same problem.
About with my own writing is images.
Yeah. And so what they've been doing is they've been trying to repeat, like they're basically spamming quality issues about the images in the book, which, by the way, has been out since 2013, and I've never had a single complaint about the images in the book. And so I know that it's coming from them. I mean, every day there's 2 more, and it's the same errors over and over again. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get it to the point where there's so many errors that are reported that they'll suppress the book, because if there's too many errors, then like, I don't know what the number is or the threshold is. I guess I haven't passed it because they're not really clear about that. But that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to get it suppressed. And there's only one person who would know that, which is DDJ, because DDJ has the feminist lie or whatever. He's already an Amazon author, so he knows this shit. And so that's what he's essentially trying to do, is get my book banned, because they hate me. That's all. Seriously, that's all they live to do, and really has been the only thing they've lived to do since like June of 2019. So that's what I'm dealing with right now, is these asshats. So, but I will say this. It has prompted me to go back. I've been meaning to do it for a while. Go back to the first book. Go back in, fix all the typos, fix all the syntax. So there's no. So I'll tell you what is, if they want to keep. Yeah, exactly. So there's no ammo. They got nothing to do it. And you know what? I should go back. I should have gone back and done this a long time ago. So thanks,
like
haters.
Silver lining.
Yeah, you're motivating me to do that. So that's actually, I feel like I'm writing another book, because I'm going back and sort of tightening up the language a little bit, like so it's easier to read. And did I tell you about? Because you're an author. There's a really great book, and it's by this author named Josh Bernoff. And it's called Writing Without Bullshit is the name of the book.
I've heard of that. I haven't read it,
though. It will teach you how to write.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, I've heard you mention it.
I fundamentally changed the way I
writing.
I fundamentally changed the way that I write as a result of that. And I'm glad I read that book, because it's like the ideas, like I used to think, I don't want to write down to my readers. I want people to, I'm not trying to like sound smart or anything by using $10 words. It's just that I want, the English language is a good language, it's
very rich. It's very
but
rich.
everybody, the only words anybody has in their vocabulary is, fuck you, where's the bathroom, stop staring at my tits, and I'll beat your ass. Those are like, those phrases in the United States, and you can probably get by, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Donde style fucking baño.
But the English language is so much richer than all that, and so Cheers. I feel kind of bad that we have all these great, we have such fantastic words and vernacular and everything, and everybody goes, oh, if you use those words, they're like, oh, you're just trying to sound smart, dude. Like, well, I am smart. And the other thing is like, just because you have to go get a thesaurus to figure out what I mean,
right?
Go out and learn a new word, for crying out loud.
Who's the smart one?
Right. But I can't think of it in those terms. Like, I think that I like what I write, the ideas are more important than me throwing out like, okay, hypergamy. It's one thing to say hypergamy. It's another thing to start talking about like intersexual dynamics. And that sounds like a mouthful, but that's the most succinct, comprehensive way that you can describe things like that. I'm always struggling with trying to be concise with being comprehensive. It's because I know what happens anytime like people say, oh, can you make it simpler for us? Can you stop, cut out the $10 words or blah, blah, blah. And I find that when I do that, well, I don't have a problem with that, but I find that when I do that, that's when people go, oh, you didn't think of this, or oh, you didn't think of
everybody.
I got him, right. I got him because he didn't think of this. And it's like, no, I did. You just wanted me to simplify it for you because you're too lazy to.
Because you're a huge retard.
Yeah, because you're exactly.
You're a huge fucking retard.
Because you're basically a big retard. Yeah,
you're basically a big retard.
So when I throw stuff out there like that, I have to remember that if I simplify things, I'm just going to pay for it in the end. Because
that's true.
Because they'll say, well, you didn't think of this. I got you. No, you didn't. You just asked me for the simplified, dumbed down, stripped down version of it, which I've already thought of these things a long time ago. But you wanted me to make it simple, like 8th grade reading level for you. And so now we're going to have a more lengthy conversation because you wanted me to dumb it down for you.
Right.
Retards keep moving the goalposts anyway. You can't win.
Yeah.
And Alex, what does Alex say?
It's the too long didn't read, generation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the idiot trying to chase clout with Ryan today? No, I did not. I have
what idiot? Which idiot? Which idiot?
Yeah, well, there's that. I mean,
there's so many of them right now. It's like I can't keep track of them.
Right. I have a tendency to I don't give attention and credence to retards.
Ryan is funny because like. Ryan is really good, by the way, at memes. He will fuck with you. He will destroy you. He's like Voltaire with memes.
Right.
Yeah. He's very good in that respect. And I don't think he gets enough credit for it, quite honestly, but
he is a meme master.
He is a meme master. And
that's for sure.
Especially like I usually keep the Tates like Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate sort of at arm's length, just because it's like I don't really care one way or another. I'm not going to be working with them.
Don't you want Tate to give you like a reference so you can get that nanny gig with Michaela Peterson?
No, I wish. I should have. Man, why didn't she do that? I would have loved to have done that, by the way. I was dead serious when I said that. I was like, you drop her off. You don't have to worry about getting some freak job who's going to kidnap your child.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, what are you talking about?
It's funny. Robert knows about it.
Robert knows more than he talks about most of the time.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
So back in when was it May or was it April? I think it was in April.
I think it was April.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so Michaela Peterson pretty much has proven me right about everything that I suspected her of, like way back in like December of last year.
By design or indirectly?
Well, but like she can't help herself, put it that way.
Gotcha.
And so I mentioned to her, I said, I mentioned her in an episode of my own episode of Kill to Party, right? And I used her as an example of Kill to Party. And so she got all bent out of shape, and she really the only reason she got all up in my grill about it was
I
because
remember that now. Okay.
Yeah, because she wanted to sort of clear her name, because I didn't know this at the time, but I did now. I do, of course I do now, is that she wanted to clear her name because she was getting married, right? And I didn't know she was getting married, so I was like, okay, well,
to a good Christian man,
to a good Christian guy who she just got.
No such thing.
She just got married to, and the kid's like 23 years old, right?
What?
And
how old is she?
She's 30.
Oh, that poor sap.
Yeah. So, so anyways, I just get these parts while I'm saying this. So you probably already know I did an interview with her, interview such as it was, back in December, because she basically just wanted to clear her name, and I caught her in like so many different lies since then. Like she told me, she's like, oh yeah, I read your book in high school. And I'm like, well, you must have been 22 in high school, because my book came out in 2013 and you would have been about 21 or 22 years old then. So I know you didn't read it in high school. And she consistently, I mean, she's a pathological liar is what she is.
Jesus.
And has been so for a while. But I mean, because she's a Peterson, everybody sort of cuts her some slack,
She's riding his coattails.
Yeah, I mean, because she's very popular. She's a fan. She has lots of fans, hits. And she has hits. Yeah, but there's honestly, I think she's on the spectrum. I think there is something seriously wrong with her. Okay. But that's neither here nor there.
Going around a lot lately.
So what I did was, I put her in I just used her as an example. I think I might have talked about her for like 20 minutes in the Kill to Party episode back in November. And so I was talking to us. She contacted me, and really all she wanted to do was clear her name with Andrew Tate, because she had already been sort of in a, let's just say, compromising position with Andrew Tate back in 2018. And we talked about that a little bit. I think really that's why she wanted to clear her name more than anything. But since then, she essentially goes against pretty much everything her father has ever said about, single mothers and careerism and all this other shit. And pretty much since that time that I had that dust up with her, through her own actions, has more or less proven me right about her being a good example of Kill to Party. And one of the things she did back in April was she petitioned all of her her Instagram base, like the people, her fans on Instagram, she was going to be in Miami, I guess, because she had already divorced Andre, who was her first husband, and she was going to be in Miami. So she petitioned all of her users for a nanny or for like a babysitter.
Wait,
which
publicly?
Was funny because yes, I mean, I did a full episode on it too. It was funny as hell. And I said, I hate being right all the time, and I was upset too. I was pissed off because, I'm like, you have a beautiful daughter. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, a beautiful daughter and an ex-husband now, who, for all intent and purposes, from all the evidence that's available for the public, is a pretty loving, devoted father.
Pretty good. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. And she uses that kid like an accessory, like a handbag. It's like, oh, I'm a mom too, right? But she's been doing all these videos recently with other women talking about how you can still be a mom, an effective, good mom, but you can
have it all too.
You can have it all, right? Yeah, exactly. The same shit we've been hearing for forever. And
when's Will Smith's wife gonna have her on?
Yeah, exactly. When she gets. Yeah. Oh, it'll happen. I believe it probably would happen, actually. So anyway, so she, like, right around April, she starts petitioning her people on Instagram. I need somebody in the Miami area on this particular weekend, and somebody who can, do fun things with my daughter and blah blah blah. And
whoa.
Honestly,
so she's soliciting random strangers to babysit her fucking daughter.
Yeah. In Miami. And I'm
Whoa.
like, and I got pissed. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I couldn't even like begin
Child
to
Protective
even.
Services.
Exactly. It's funny you should say that. I said exactly the same thing. I said somebody should call
Jesus,
CPS because this is fucking crazy. Again, it's proving exactly what I said about kill to party. I said, you're all you're doing is proving my point. So of course I had to go and take a victory lap on that. But then I thought about it and I'm like, Michaela, really? I said, you know me. I already have raised a daughter from infancy to adulthood. I said, I actually was in Miami at that time. I said, I will take it off your hands, drop her off at Panorama Tower at 9 a.m. and we'll go deep sea fishing, right? I'll have some really fun shit to go do with her, right? I was dead serious. Of course, she's never gonna take me seriously, but I was dead ass serious. I said, I will take the kid, and you won't have to worry about her getting kidnapped by some random stranger.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking that, like, somebody
in Miami somewhere, right?
Especially with everything going on today.
I could not believe that. And so I'm thinking about this, and I'm going, where the fuck is Andre in all of this? Mm-hmm. That was number one, and number two is, where the fuck is the new husband in all of it? Where's the
weak motherfuckers?
Because the guy comes from a good Christian family and a big one at that. He's got like 7 or 8 siblings, and I'm like, one of your new aunts or uncles or whatever, they couldn't take, or don't they have something to say? What about your dad? Doesn't he have something to say about
this? Where are the males? The males in this family.
And so I brought that up, but I could not believe it. But I offered. I said, I'll do it. I said, bring her over here. I will charter a freaking fishing boat, and I would have used it like on Instagram every chance I got.
Right.
Well, of course. But I would have done it. I would have been happy to do it, and I would
almost have to advertise it just to make sure you're covering your own ass.
Well, I put it out there too. I put it on my Instagram. I put it on my my YouTube, because I did a full show about it back then. So
I didn't know.
It was just I couldn't believe it, because like I'm a father too, right? Of a daughter, no less, right? And I can't even like that thought. I can
boggle your fucking mind, man.
I'll tell you what's funny is I was telling my wife, I told Mrs. Tomasi, I said, I told her about that whole situation. I said, can you believe this bitch? And she was like, that wouldn't even enter my brain. Like that would not even never be a thought in my head. Like how is this, like where's the father? Where's the new husband?
Where's anybody in the fucking family?
Where's grandpa? Where's grandpa, who should be outraged out of his mind about something like this?
Right.
And she's still like, I didn't want to believe. I thought somebody was trolling me at first, Robert. I thought this can't be true. Right.
Oh, I know. I saw your response. I saw you were like, there's no way. Because it was almost as if she purposefully went point by point through everything Rollo predicted she would do. This is what happens. You hit this age, and then this, and then this, and then this. And it was everything. It was like a checklist.
She's trying to check
all the boxes, just to troll him. But no, it just happened. It was just one of those things that it's like, you hate to be right, but once again, you were right.
Well, I told my wife when this happened, I said, can you believe this shit? And she's like, if you did that, like with our daughter, like baby Tomasi, when she was like, 4 or 5 years old, she's like, I would divorce you. Like the fact that you would even think that. And I go, yeah, of course, it would never even cross my mind to do something like that.
Right.
And so I said, I said, and you'd be right to do so. I said, because that's absolutely insane. And I'm like, well, first off, where's Jordan Fuller? Where is Andre, the biological father? Where is Jordan Fuller's, brothers, sisters, moms, whatever? Where is Jordan Peterson in all of this? Why do they not have something like, because I'll tell you what, if my daughter did that, I would be like, no, bitch. Well, did I not raise you correctly? Because this is insane, right? I would have said something exactly like that. And she was actually doing video complaining about other people who had the same opinion that I did, right? They were like, because people were like, are you sure you want to do this? This is crazy. Like, I would never do this with my
kid. Judge me.
It wasn't, exactly. And it wasn't me. She wasn't even responding to me. she was responding to all the people who said, "You're fucking a bad mother,"
Right.
For lack of, I mean, in so many words.
That's what it comes down to.
And so she got all upset about that. I'm like, "Are you
What
off your
hurt?
meds or something? I mean, is she drunk? What is this?" And she she straight up did videos about how she was, people shouldn't make a big deal out of this. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Yeah. And people, I don't understand.
You're advertising your kid.
Come and get my kid, basically.
Yeah. On fucking social media and the internet. What is fucking wrong with you, bitch?
Yeah. Jesus, and I'll tell you the other thing is later on afterwards, she I guess she found somebody or whatever. I found somebody great. It was awesome. See, you guys were wrong. I was right, kind of thing. And I was just like,
yeah,
okay. Sure. Because I almost was hoping something bad would happen so she would learn a lesson, she wouldn't do it again, but now she obviously will do it again.
Unfortunately, it's just
and I'm not her dad or whatever, but it's like I hate being right all the time, especially when there's a kid's sort of
well, they're weaponizing the kid at this point for their own clout, their own
that's what I said.
Look at me.
Scarlett is an accessory right now.
Exactly. She's like a piece of jewelry or something.
I got her at Claire's.
Right.
It's just so funny because if there's anyone who could benefit from watching some of her dad's old videos, the old Jordan Peterson videos, not the new
back when he was weeping to everybody.
If there was anyone who could benefit from that, it's his own daughter.
I know, and I'll tell you the thing that kills me is there's so many of these guys who are like these Jordan Peterson fanboys who have the guy on their show and they're talking to him and everything, and I'm like, the first thing, if I had him on, the first thing out of my mouth is, "Did you know what your daughter's doing? Do you have any earthly clue what's going on?" Because
get your bitch in line.
Exactly. She is exactly the kind of woman you were warning guys against back in 2017, 2018. She is doing exactly what you said.
At that point, you kind of lose your credibility. It's like a priest giving a sex talk.
Exactly. Yeah, that too. But it's also like, okay, so your granddaughter is Scarlett, and you're totally cool with what went down with all this shit in Miami. That would be the first thing I would ask. Nobody touches that. Nobody even recognizes or understands what that was all about.
Yeah, that's just
unfreaking believable.
Pardon me. Ridiculous.
Hey,
this base code's coming up pretty good.
Oh, that's cool. These are coming along pretty well. I'm actually going with.
What are you doing, by the way?
This one here is a K-23 Little Killer Klingon ship, and then I've got the D-11 and the classic D-7 from the original series.
Is that from Starfleet Battles?
The FASA stuff, yes.
The
original Star Trek RPG.
Back when it was all cool.
Yeah.
Starfleet Battles back in the day, in the early 80s, was just that was. Of course,
I've got a book.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
But
hey, of course you do.
Since it's just the three of us here, I want to know if I could talk to Rollo kind of privately, since I've got this unique opportunity.
Sure.
There are a lot of days that I'm very glad I'm only at best tangentially connected to the whole manosphere thing. That's not my
count
thing.
Your blessings. I wish some days I wish I was.
Yeah, but my whole introduction to you was completely by accident. I stumbled across one of your videos, saw one of your videos, and it referenced the blogs. I went through and I read some of your early writing, and then of course I got your first book. And the thing is, I know there's a lot of stuff out there. A lot of guys either giving advice or saying this is what a man is. This is, whatever. You see it all over Twitter. Semen retention or jack off every day.
Sun your butthole.
Sun your perineum. God, that was so good. That was the golden era of the manosphere, by the way. But it really was.
I, as a guy who had been married twice,
Jesus Christ,
divorced twice, who had made all of the mistakes with a woman at the end of the first marriage, as far as trying to save it, bringing the garbage back in after it was out at the curb, all of that stuff, to the exact opposite of when you put yourself first and have the right frame. women behave differently to you, and women will share a man they think is of higher value, and all of that.
Can
It just,
confirm.
I read your stuff, and it's like above and beyond looking at the fact that, oh, okay, he actually has sources where he shows where this information comes from, where this data comes from. Just from experience, I lived it. So it's like, this guy is telling the truth, and he's not telling you it's right. He's not telling you it's wrong. He's not telling you what to do. He's just telling you, this is how it is. This is how it's evolved. This is how it works. These are what the old rules were. This is a different day because things have changed. And it's like that whole thing. It's like, I respect this guy's work, and I think other guys should know about this guy's work, which is why I've shared your work with my sons. To admittedly mixed results. Some of my sons were way more receptive than others. Oddly enough, the sons that took after me were very receptive to it. The one son that took after his mother, yeah, he has issues with it. But you know, my nephews and everything else. So it's just that
sometimes it takes longer.
Really cool. Yeah. So I respect what you do, and I appreciate what you do. And it's cool that we've gotten to become acquaintances, and we game together and stuff like that.
Oh, we are more than acquaintances, my friend. Well, I am your dungeon master. I'm your master captain, my captain.
That's right. But Walt Whitman, Uncle Walt over here.
Yeah. But, you know, bringing up what you just mentioned, though, about me being thankful to not be in that. Do you ever feel like Brian from Monty Python's Life of Brian? I'm not, you know, one, you're not the Messiah. You're a very naughty boy. And two, you don't need me. You don't need anybody. You need to figure this stuff out for yourself.
For yourselves, yes.
Do you ever feel like just doing that?
Yeah, in fact, I've done that. I've used that as a meme a few times. I love it when people like call me a cult leader, right? Like, oh, Rollo's a cult leader. I'm like, I am. If that's the case, I am the worst cult leader there has ever been. Actually, I am a very bad.
You're not rich off
leader.
Everybody. You're not.
Yeah, I was like, man, I probably should be a cult leader. God, I'd probably be a lot richer off and better off right now. It's like what's that one part in Monty in Life of Brian where they're like, the Messiah. It's like, I am not the Messiah. Only the Messiah would deny his own existence.
Yeah. No matter what you say, it doesn't matter.
And then I'm like, okay, all right, then I am the Messiah. Oh, the Messiah. I'm like, now piss off. How should we piss off, Lord?
God, it's the gourd. Follow the gourd. No, it's the sandal.
Follow the shoe, the sandal. Yes, I know.
It's hypergamy. No.
It's follow this.
Yeah.
It's male self-improvement. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Since we're on the subject of DMing and D&D and Robert being thankful and all, we're I want to get a small, and I TJ and I created, and Robert did too, with the American Tabletop Gamer Society, which is a masculine geek endeavor, which is basically a D&D convention, more like almost like a male fraternity.
Like a pride. It's the war room for nerds.
Exactly. Not to put too fine a point on it, but yeah,
Vince,
absolutely.
I'm in.
Nice. All right, but
say no more.
We want to include you, but I also want to kick it off by having it small and don't insert bull rush sex joke here. Have it small and intimate, and maybe in the fall. So I wanted to know what times in
where
October.
Did you want to do it? I tell you, I wish I could do it. Honestly, I didn't. If I didn't have to go to Rebel Capitalist next weekend, there's a really, I should say the really good. It's the only gaming convention in Reno, Nevada. It's called RageCon. And it's been around it's been going up for a long time, but
I've heard about that.
They haven't been able to have it for the last 2 years because of COVID, right? So this is the sort of the return of it, and everybody's just amped for it. And I was like, fuck, I can't go because I got to go to Rebel Capitalist and I got to do that whole thing. And of course, my life is fuck my life. It's like I can't go do those fun things I used to do. But I'll probably go again. But I thought, man, if I was going to do that, I was like, man, this would be a great opportunity to get all the guys from Masculine Geek to come out to Reno. We could go. We could put you up at the Pepper Mill, or I mean, if you want to stay at the Nugget where it is, that would be cool too. But and there's lots of other things to do. I mean, you can go gamble and stuff. As you know, it's not just for dorks. I mean, you can actually go and do other things.
We want to like go to the cigar bar, go to the lounge, all kinds of stuff out there. Go shooting, all kinds of stuff outside of that. Outside of the gaming,
there's other things to do. But I mean, the gaming, of course, is the funnest part right there. And you want to play D&D, we could do that. The other thing that would be awesome to do would be to do Rage. And I'm not trying to shoot down anything you want to do in the fall. I definitely would like to do that. But I was thinking, like, if we ever did something at RageCon or something that's a little bit more formalized out here, you could actually live stream the game from from the gaming floor where everybody's at. And I'll tell you what would be great is to do that and like flex on all these guys who are like, you know, I'm going to ride my Lamborghini. Okay, well, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna rent a Lamborghini out here and go. Yeah, I took my Lamborghini to the nerd festival,
to the nerd squad.
Yeah, like to do something like flex on it like that. I think that would be. It would make for some really funny ass content. That's for damn. Yeah, if nothing else, it'd be great content.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm down. Sure, if you guys want to do something in fall, I don't know where would you want to have it.
I don't know yet. I was thinking it, depending upon how many people we can get, I want to get the Horticultural Hall where the first D&D convention took place with Gary Gygax and Arneson.
Oh, in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It would be for
Saturday.
If
it was the fall, I guess it would be okay. We wouldn't be freezing our dicks off if it was
it would be okay. I know Noble Brown is shooting for something like Miami. But I think it'd be kind of cool. I'm
fine with that too. You know, I'm good with that. So I don't mind. I can always make Miami work because I've got Valuetainment out there and I've got Fresh and Fit, of course, too. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do the first one. I have no problem with that.
Dude, if you did it in Miami, I will take you all. Like, how many we got? I could take up to 6 of you guys out on a fishing trip too, because I love to go.
You, me, Robert, TJ. Maybe Amos and Drew and Noble. That'd be all.
And Drew's in Florida already, right?
Drew's in Florida already. You know what? I think we solved this one. I think we're doing it in Miami in the fall.
That might be a good thing. And then, like, I'll tell you what, I'll foot the bill for a fishing trip while we're out there too, because I love to do it.
I haven't been fishing since the mid 2000s, so I would appreciate that.
We'll be hunting good game. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the video of me on.
I saw you gaffed something.
Yeah, I gaffed. That's the first time I ever gaffed a fish too. I was like, I gotta do this.
That looked professional, dude.
And you know what? That was the first shot, first try, first attempt, and first time I ever did it.
I have to tip my hat to you. My hands are full, but I'm tipping it in spirit. That was like me. Gaff.
That was like me rolling a natural 20 to kill a beholder.
Critical hit.
Pretty much. That was me. That right there was that. Rollo rolled a 20 right when I did that, I couldn't believe I did. I thought for sure I'd let go of the gaff. I'd fuck up somehow, and I'm like, oh god, I'm on video.
Well, the thing is, that's really not easy to do because
it's not.
The water, the optics throws it off, and two, you want to get the fish in just the right area so you don't tear it up.
Yep.
And
you're on a fucking boat
and
you're
pull
moving.
it onto the boat.
Yeah, the boat's moving at what, like, 5 knots or whatever, however slow they're moving. I mean, it's still slow, but you're still moving, right?
Well, yeah,
and then
you have to keep your balance,
bouncing you up and down. And
the guy who was fishing was Tom. He's the guy who does my clips channel. He works for myself and Fresh and Fit and Justin Waller and Sterling Cooper and everything. He's just a good dude. I take him every time I go fishing because he just enjoys it so much. I turned him into a fisherman essentially.
Nice.
But so so we were out there and I'm like, I have never gaffed a fish. And the guy who I know these guys now personally, it's like the second or third time we've been out with Captain Nelson and Captain Nelson, Horatio Hornblower. And he's just like Captain Nelson's a great dude, and the boat is just fantastic. And Kevin, the guy who's the deckhand, he's always the same guy that comes on because he knows he likes to come with us because we bring hot chicks with us, and nice. He knows he's going to be on Instagram, and we pay very well, and we tip very well. I take care of the boat, and then the guys take care of the tip and the fuel.
And that's what you should, that's the way you do it.
So, So it was a lot of fun, and the best part of it was like I gaffed Tom's fish to bring it up out of there. And then, by the way, yeah, you're right.
Is that
you're
a metaphor for something else?
No, I gaffed your fish. Yeah, that's my Freudian slip. No, I was like, I've never done this before. I want to try it, and I was like, I'm really proactive when I'm out there, especially if I charter the boat and I'm paying $1,500 for a full day. I'm gonna go out there and I'm not gonna let like Kevin just do everything, because you have to go out and you have to get bait fish. You have to go fish for pinfish before you go out there. I'm like, give me a line, I'll go do it. Let's do it. So I went out there. We go throw chum out there. I was just basically a deckhand. It was like on the job experience. Yeah, exactly. And so Kevin's right there. He's happy to show you how to do it, because it just means you're gonna get more fishing time, and you got more bait. So why not? And I don't know if you guys did you guys see the giant barracuda that I pulled out of? It's like a fucking dinosaur, man. It was like Jurassic Park, man.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, it was like I had to use two hands to like lift this thing up. It was a 22-pound barracuda that I pulled out, and it was probably certainly the biggest barracuda I've ever caught. But we caught that when we were just fishing for bait.
Wow.
So, but yeah, and like gaffing the fish, by the way, you're moving along at like something like 5 or 6 knots, and then you've got the fish that's being pulled up by Tom on the line, and you've got to be able to catch it when it's coming right, because it'll pull away, because when it sees the boat, it runs.
It's gonna run.
Yeah. And so,
and some of them really freak out when they see the gaff.
Yeah, exactly. Then so like when I hit it with the gaff, like I got it like just perfectly on that, like right towards the midsection and the tail of the midsection there. And then Kevin's like, you have to, and the other thing is there's no barb on the gaff. So you have to like pull it straight up out of the water, because if you don't, it'll pull off the gaff, and then it'll start bleeding. And if it starts bleeding, then every other fish in the sea will come up and try to tear up your fish. Right. So you have to pull it straight up out of the water. That's why when I'm pulling it up and it's like, oh man, Rollo looks yoked. It's like, well, no, it's just me trying to get this damn fish out of the ocean here. But it was a lot of fun.
Sounds like I'm totally down for that. Count us in. Absolutely. We'll do a fishing geek adventure, MG adventure.
Yeah, weekend. Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be great. Like a long, I would say like a Wednesday or Thursday through a Sunday or something like that.
Yeah. I'd be happy to do that.
Cool.
Yeah. Fishing is something that I've always wanted to do, and I really want to go boar hunting. That just
we got that. That's sort of set up soon. I think next spring with Bull Rush.
Look, I finished the Sphinx. I built them up.
Oh, cool. Were you working on that last time?
I started it last time. I didn't really finish it up, so it's a little bit complex. So I have to, and I got to get some more of this. Robert probably knows what this is. It's to me, it makes this pretty. That's the extra thin. It's great for plastics, but there's another one called Mr. Cement or something like that.
Yeah,
and that's some really good shit.
Like good stuff. Okay.
Yeah, to me is one of my favorites brands. There's also like Mr. Color and stuff like that from Japan as well. That's the thing. There are a lot of really good Japanese hobby products and such for model kits and everything else. Just because that
I don't even hear about them
is very particular.
I subscribe to the actual physical print magazine of Fine Scale Modelers still to this day.
Oh, that's
just
cool.
because I like the techniques and I just like to look at the models, and it's just like something I used to do.
The dioramas and shit are fantastic.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, and then of course I've liked
Wonderfest in Louisville looking at the models and stuff. So
yeah, I like the IPMS model contests too. I've gone to actually compete. I've competed in at least like 2 or 3 of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're always my fantasy models, but they don't care. They have categories for that. So.
Yeah,
I really want to compete in like some like military style models at some point.
Oh, the dioramas.
I don't know that I don't know that I'm like that anally retentive with my models to like, it's got to be this color and it's got to be.
Well, yeah. If you catch some of my tweets, I may have to just start tagging you in on some of that stuff, because some of the Japanese modelers I follow, they make the rivets on the wings of those World War II planes. I mean,
countersunk.
They go to some tremendous detail. So,
Cool.
I got people ragging on me because I'm such a right-wing radical, which I can't understand, because most of the politics on my thing is complaining about the Republicans in my state. But the vast majority of my stuff is model kits from Japan,
Micronauts, Robotech,
yeah,
D&D, Robotech all the time,
and music and stuff, because I'm sharing, on this day, Motorhead released 1916, and it's a good album. But no, it's funny, since I started hanging out with you guys, I've actually had a couple people come to me that in the hobby field for which I've done some work, going, you're starting to get a reputation that might make you unhireable. I'm like, I don't
suck a
care.
dick.
It's
what
like,
is it you think I do?
Yeah, well, and the thing is, as I told one person, it's like, look, I am the same guy who dropped everything to fly to Boston to work at PAX when you asked me.
When did you go?
The last year before at the start of the pandemic.
Oh, okay. I was there in 2010.
Yeah. I'm the same guy who dropped everything to help and do some leather work so that you had a costume before this convention. I'm the same shoulder, you cried on, and it's like, I'm the same guy you thought was this super
Nothing's
nice,
changed.
great,
Nothing's changed.
absolutely nothing's changed.
You're hanging out with that devil worshipping guy, Rollo Tomas.
Yeah,
that's
but
right.
It's like
the rational DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
something's very, very wrong with you.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. So
very, very wrong with you.
So yeah, I'm glad I'm a very small fish in this particular pond of stuff.
Well, I tell you what's funny is, like, still to this day, people, I love it. I love it when guys like go, that Rollo Tomasi guy, his name's not really Rollo Tomasi. It's George Miller, right? And he'll like, and I love it when they go, he's trying to pretend he's Italian. What? Seriously, I've had people tell me that before. Rollo is trying to pretend. He's trying to deceive us into thinking he's actually Italian. I'm like,
insert water boy noises.
And what plan? And then I realized, oh, they're really that stupid.
Yeah,
they really think that that's where I got the name from.
Like, do you not know of the Great Bear of Normandy? It's.
Yeah, well, that too. It's like, but Rollo Tomasi is from LA Confidential.
But
but he called me. I mean, I'm happy that it's also Rollo, who's also the Viking, right? So either way, I'm good with it. But it's like you know that I actually show my face and my white ass on every show for the last like 4 years.
You're not hiding anything.
Trust me, I don't pretend to be Italian or black or Asian or anything else.
Yeah, it just.
Yes, I don't play one on the internet. I'm actually Danish. I'm pretty.
So you're you're Jack Napier.
Well, Jack's from Holland, though, isn't he? Or what?
That's right.
Yeah,
that freaky deaky Dutch bastard.
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah. Yes, he is. I know, well, because like when I was working for Van Gogh Vodka, and I mean technically I still do.
You have a day job?
I used to have it. I had a day job before May of 2020.
Yeah.
And at that point I was just like, I was starting to give up my accounts because I didn't want to go to San Francisco anymore, because that was Northern California was one of my accounts or one of my areas. And I gave up the Bay Area because I got tired of trying to do promos.
Stepping over shit.
Yeah, exactly. And needles and that kind of stuff. And then I'm actually kind of glad I got out of at least doing the promo side of things in Vegas, because Vegas is now really kind of turning into San Francisco now.
Really?
I mean, shit on the streets, gang violence. I mean, you can't like this. People think Vegas is a great place, and it is. My daughter lives there, but she's in Summerlin, man. She's like in like the, that on that end there. The high rent district, but north North Vegas is like, whew,
shithole.
Be careful with going there.
Jesus.
Yeah, and so like I got to the point where it's like I just gave up those accounts, and then I had Orange County for a little while, and I had and that was cool. I probably would have, if I regret anything, it's been the fact that I had to give up like parts of Southern California. But once the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing. This is me. So yeah. Okay. I guess this is where I'm at right now. Now it's like, oh, you make a living off of this. Well, I do now. Up until 2020, I did.
Yeah, and what's the problem with that? They're jackasses.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, I still get residuals and I get royalties for 2 of my brands right now because I still have part ownership in a Canadian whiskey and and a Dutch vodka.
Oh, okay, there we go. By the way, how's Sam Bada doing?
Sam's good. I want to say he's either in Alabama or he's in Tennessee right now. His mother passed away not too long ago.
No.
And he came into a lot of money. I mean, he's doing very well for himself. I'm not going to lie, but he doesn't have kids. He doesn't have a wife or anything. And so he just sort of, he's Sam. And so he bought some property, I think, and he's got a place in Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, and I think he's got a place in Alabama as well.
Yeah, okay.
And so he's I'm not going to say he's a doomsday prepper because he's not really a doomsday prepper, but he's like who am I bullshitting? He's a doomsday prepper. So everybody else, anyone outside would say he's a doomsday prepper, but I mean, he's not stupid about it. He's just Sam. So he's just doing his thing.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering how he was doing. We had him on the show a few times, and I know he shouted us out. And he's always been cool to us.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's my biggest fan. He's still like one of my best friends, and he's still like my biggest supporter. He's always in every show that he's a mod in the chats of every show I do. So if you ever want to say hi to him, he's always in my chat.
I'll have to drop in. I think I still have his phone number.
Yeah, I only have 3 mods. I have him, I've got Samishi, and I got Torsha right now. And Torsha just shows up for an hour and then she leaves.
You can make us mods.
I could, yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're mods on my show, but like Ryan and the rest of these guys are still mod. They're all mods too, but they never like show up on the regular. So.
Yeah, I usually catch your Sunday show, but I'm usually at clients doing accounting and stuff. But hey, Rollo,
you're still employable.
yeah. They don't know about my geeky activities.
They don't.
Alpha, can you see this, Rollo? You got Alpha Wolfling had a thing, a comment he made to you that.
What did he say? Let me look at it.
Which you've talked about before. We need a debate between Rollo and Peterson. Men nowadays need to see what a healthy disagreement between 2 highly respected people ought to be. I know you've talked about this probably ad nauseum, but if you want to,
I would. What are we going to debate? That's the first and foremost is what I'd like to know.
Like, their topic.
Well, I love it when I don't think enough people understand what formal debate is. Right? You actually have to have a fucking topic. I don't know about you guys. If you ever took like logic or debate or something in college or high school,
I was on speech team, if you can imagine, and debate.
I mean, so then you know what the 10 commandments of like logical fallacies are. You know all that stuff, right? Well, I love it when people say you need to debate Alex from Playing with Fire. You need to debate Ruslan. You need to debate. I'm like, okay.
I don't have to need to do anything except stay white and die.
Exactly. The first thing is like, first of all, I don't owe anybody a debate. If you have a problem with anything I said, at least come correct. At least tell me, okay, I have a problem with hypergamy and I want to discuss why I think you're wrong about it. Okay, that's a debate. If you want to say, Rollo Tomasi's he's trying to pretend I want to debate him about him pretending to be Italian. That's not a debate, man. That's just like your opinion, bro.
Yeah, that's they think debate is something they see on like CNN or Fox News or something like that.
And that's not debate.
That's not a debate. Debate.
It's called propaganda.
Well, there have been videos of I'm trying to think of the actor's name, but where atheists are debating theologians and stuff like that, and going and it's back and forth, and it's moderated. This is the topic of debate, and this is the opening statements, and then the tit for tat going back and forth, and then the summations at the end, and you know, there's a structure to it. It's not talking heads on mainstream traditional media yelling at each other and calling each other stupid and no hypergamy's not this, and there is no wall. Haven't you seen Jane Seymour? She's in her 70s and she's still
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy now.
Yeah, but of course, you know, it's like if
logical fallacy after logical fallacy
between Jane Seymour now and Jane Seymour in Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger or Live and Let Die, which Jane Seymour are you having sex with?
Both of them.
Well, yes, immediately. But you know, if you can only do it once, it's Jane Seymour in her 20s, not Jane Seymour in her 70s, and that's not a slam to Jane Seymour because she's, you know, she's still a beautiful 70-something-year-old woman.
He said that Jane Seymour's not hot. I can't believe it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, let's face it.
But it just
or Paulina Porzakova. I can't believe he didn't think she was hot.
Who the fuck is that? I can't even pronounce it.
Paulina Porzakova? Rick Ocasek's ex. Well, widow, let's just say,
from the Cars,
Yeah, she was in the news not too long ago talking about how she was like, she's 57 and I'm sexually invisible. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
And
your point there, Miss
Porzakova? She's not Ocasek now. Of course, she's never really been Ocasek.
No.
But in fact, he tried to cut her out of the will, I think, too.
Yes, he did.
Which is a baller move, by the way.
Fuck that bitch.
Right at the end, he's like, I'm going to die, but I'm going to take you with me. Fuck you.
You're not getting shit, bitch.
Yes. I will tell. From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
Where are the Cheetos? If there's any
I use that. I use that.
By the way,
you guys probably didn't catch. Maybe Robert did. Did you catch the episode where I used that as the intro for my intro music?
You did? That's awesome.
Yes, I have. I'm not on my my main system right now. I'd play it for you if I was, but it's the very. I'll tell you what. I'll play it on Sunday's show. It's the part where he's. I love that part because it's like where like Khan is like, no, Kirk, you can't get away. I love that part because I've always think about that too. Because like when guys are like they try to like leave the manosphere, I'm like, no, you can't get away.
You're not going anywhere, bitch.
You're not going anywhere.
I still say the best use for the term manosphere. It all goes to Vince. The gay bar where Cappy works. I make a reference in my detective series that I'm almost done the first novella, but
really?
one of the locations I briefly is I named the bar the Manosphere, and one of the characters I think Rob is like
Cappy's place.
I was like, isn't that bar owned by that fruit Aaron?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
So yeah, Aaron makes
I tell you what's maybe it was funny for a little while anyways, but like when I was on Fresh and Fit last time I was out there and John from Modern Life Dating was on, I mean every third sentence was like Aaron Clary's homosexual.
He's not wrong. Yeah. He's not wrong. Right?
Like Aaron Clary's. Just want to say one thing. What's that? Aaron Clary's gay.
Aaron Clary's gay.
I mean,
$20 is $20.
One after the other.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, and you know what? I mean, I don't want to sell him out, but man, I like John from Modern Life Dating really hammered on that show. Like, I mean, it's clear he was really.
When he came out to do a Donovan Sharp show, I picked him up from the airport, and James and I took him out for a steak dinner. He was fucking high as a kite.
Oh yeah,
it was fucking crazy.
It's fun when he gets in. When he gets again, I don't want to run up the flagpole, but like when
he said it himself. He's like, I get the United States. I can't deal with everybody, so I want to get drunk.
Yeah, and that's what he does. Like he gets hammered and he's like on edibles and shit like that. And I'm like, well, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this up for McTubus. He was pleased by my Sinbad reference. I actually saw this movie at the drive-in, and I have a full set of the vintage lobby cards and the movie poster. So,
nice.
Oh man,
that's for you,
hey,
McTubus.
here's the deal. Maybe not the first one, but the second ATGS convention we have is going to be at Robert's house.
there you go.
We're totally going up there. We'll set up a big tent in his backyard in the summertime.
We should.
Right?
Yeah.
It'll be fucking awesome. Big fucking circus tent.
I'm trying to find my pin vice drill.
My
right,
vaults, my vaults of stuff.
All right, get the base coats down.
Where did I put my pin vice drill? Oh man,
that's what she said.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna do the O2 brown.
Okay, now it's time for show and tell. Here we go.
Geek and tell.
Geek and tell. Here we go. This is Angrath the Unbound, who will throw you for a loop here. Let's see if I can get him in. I don't know if I can get the whole damn model.
See if I can see this. I gotta lean over to the. Get off that fucking chair, you bitch!
You can see just, how
looks
big
like a Balrog.
is. It is kind of. It's a bloodthirster, but it's like a mega arch bloodthirster. This is from like Games Workshop. This is technically you can use this in 40K and you can use it in Fantasy Battle.
And you painted that, right?
Oh,
that's awesome. It's like a
I
literal
love
work of art.
This is that was like Forge.
Hold on, do that again, Rollo. I blew your screen out so everybody could get a better look at it.
Oh yeah, screenshot that shit. Yeah, get a timestamp.
There you go.
That's sweet. I like it.
Actually, let me see if I can get some light on him a little better.
Yeah, that's badass. I love this shit.
There you go.
Nerd boner.
Yeah, he's a badass. Oh, you got to see the axe. His axe is pretty badass. Let's see if I can get his axe. There you go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to paint?
Not as long as like I think that it's like bigger miniatures actually easier to paint. Because you got more surface area, I guess. Let's see what else I have. Oh, I've got this links. Let's got this Eldar link. Gosh, it's a little dusty too. I should probably dust these things off. That's a Eldar links that I have. So these are like specialty items for my. Cool. This is I play a Bile-Tan list for my Eldar. And so,
nice.
So people can see this. Yes, I am Nerdo Tomasi. Today I will accept that, Johnny Green.
Right. That's cool.
So,
now, what is that from?
I freehanded the icons and stuff on there too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's great.
That's cool. You did that yourself.
Yeah.
The shading the highlighting is fucking.
Yeah, that's all airbrush, but he cheated. No, I didn't actually do it.
No, airbrush. I love airbrush stuff.
Yeah,
the airbrushing is awesome.
Oh, okay. I'll really I'll bake your noodle today too.
So. Another. I can't handle these nerd boners, Rollo.
Pay the price. I don't know if I can even fit this in the frame here. Let me see.
That's what she said.
Let's see if I can put this in the frame. You guys see this? Let's see if I can get this on there.
Yeah. Well,
here, I'll bring it back a little bit here. Hang on.
Looks like a very spindly mech.
It's this is an Eldar Revenant. Hopefully I don't lose my power here, but that's
you go.
The Revenant Titan.
Wow.
And it's like on this base where he's smooshing this tank kind of thing.
That's cool. Is that one of your like show pieces you did for?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. This is definitely a competition piece for sure.
Gotcha.
I mean, you can use it. You can actually use it in the game too, but
yeah. Now, what do you seal your figures with? Like is it matte or is it?
There you go. Now you can see a little better there. I always use matte. Always use a matte sealer on everything I do, especially for like bigger models like that.
Yeah. That's fucking badass.
Let me see. Oh, can I do this? Maybe I can just do like so. Oh, there you go. Much
Damn! Okay. Holy shit! Look at that.
So, and then you can also see the knot work on the legs and stuff too.
Yeah.
I tell you the real tricky part is getting it to stand because like it's a pretty it's got pins in the base of it, but it's a pretty precarious little model. But I love the I just love the Eldar aesthetic. I don't know. I just
that
like
is cool. It's very
I always
Robotech-ish.
like the Eldar as well.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
They remind me of
Space Elves. Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no. They remind me of from Robotech the
Invid.
I got
the Invid. Yeah,
the Invid. Yeah,
the
I love.
Invid,
Yeah, and that's
the
actually
Invid.
my favorite generation, by the way, is the Invid
Yeah.
ones. That's let's see if I can get
Troop ship.
that's an Arvis lighter, is what this is. It's an unarmed like Imperial Guard kind of thing for
Gotcha.
again for 40K. But I thought it was kind of cool. I like one of the reasons I like I still subscribe to things like fine scale modeler is so I can use those techniques on models for like Warhammer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Wait, this is pretty cool. I forgot I had this up here.
Yeah,
This
model
is my- this
graphics from
Oh,
Japan
cool.
is one of my go-to.
It looks like
magazines.
some kind of drop ship from BattleTech.
This one, yeah, it's a Eldar Nightwing. It's an interceptor kind of thing. It's a flyer. I think I have this on. I can pull it off here. More nerd shit. Nerds. They're nerds.
And thank God.
Yeah. I always liked the fighters from BattleTech.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
they're
I always thought
fantastic.
those were kind of cool.
I think I've got a bomber up here too. Where did I put the bomber?
Yeah, the Zentradi ships always intrigued me.
Mm-hmm.
The bioweapons.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the Veritechs are cool, and they have their place.
Well, I love Macross, which of course was the first part of Robotech, and then Genesis Climber Mospeda, which is the last part of Robotech. I really like.
Yeah, like the new generation, the American version.
Yeah,
which is just
with,
a soap opera.
Scott Bernard or Stick
Scott Bernard
in
and
Japanese. Yeah,
and Rand. Yeah.
This is
I actually have a few of those toys from.
That's a Phoenix. This is a Phoenix. Pull that up. This is a Phoenix bomber.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool! Look at that shit.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That looks like something from Star Trek. Like a.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a bird of prey, huh?
A bird of prey. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. It's a fighter, but it's a bomber. For Warhammer. Everything I have is for Warhammer.
Gotcha. So you're saying you like Warhammer as well?
Yeah, something like that. I dabble.
Yeah, he's got to keep doing this Manosphere grift in order to
I tell you,
for his Warhammer habit.
Your cult leaderish endeavors of pain.
Your followers pay you in Warhammer miniatures.
Well, the joke, of course, is that a drug addiction would be cheaper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I love these models so much.
Yeah, this shit's fucking cool.
I haven't played 40K in a long time. I've not really been into 9th edition because it's just so over complex and I'm just waiting for 10th edition because eventually they'll come out with 10th edition and then they'll probably try to simplify everything and I'm like, oh, okay, now I'll play.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing mostly when I play at all, I play Horus Heresy now, which is sort of like Warhammer 30,000. It's like all the stuff that happened up to. It's almost like historical gaming for Warhammer 40,000.
It's historical gaming within the fictional genre.
Within the fictional genre, yeah. It's good. I love it because the game is way more solid than because you're just basically using Marines. So and there's different varieties. Yeah, there's different varieties of Marines, but I play because people are going to ask. I might as well out myself. I play. In Horus Heresy, I play Blood Angels and I play Emperor's Children. Those are my two main armies that I play in Horus Heresy. But I also have what else do I got? I have Ultramarines as well for Horus Heresy, but I only very few. I just like it just because I like this. I like the Roman Empire kind of aesthetic of the Ultramarines.
Oh yeah.
So I have some Ultramarines that I could play small battle, put it that way, with Ultras. But primarily, Blood Angels have always been my babies. I love Blood Angels, and I love Emperor's Children because Fulgrim, the Primarch, the leader guy for Emperor's Children is very much like Elric from
Elric Melnibone.
Yeah, exactly, like Stormbringer kind of guy,
Yep.
And so that's the appeal there, I think.
That's cool. It's like Malice Darkblade from Warhammer.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I like Razor Fist always talks about how The Witcher is just like the cheap version of
that guy cracks me up. He's like a love child of Sam Kinison and
it's
Dennis
Elric,
Miller.
right? Yeah, he's a cheap version of Elric. Elric is great too. Do you have this? I was just Robert. Do you have this book? Do you have?
Actually, no.
It's a graphic novel. It's Stormbringer. It is amazingly good too.
I think I might have the individual issues of that.
Yeah.
If that was one of the ones that was released in regular comic format, because I've got
it might have been, but this thing is like what is it? 11 by 17, 9 by 12.
Yeah.
It's a huge book. But I love Elric. Elric has always been. I like anti-heroes. Like I mean, like not anti, tragic heroes. I like tragic heroes quite a bit.
Tragic heroes are the best. And
like that's why I love 1,000 Suns in Warhammer 40,000, like Magnus the Red. I always joke around, like people don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm like, Magnus did nothing wrong. And unless you know the
I assumed
I assumed
I assumed that was a
I put what was it? Somebody said like was it TJ? TJ's like post your anti-heroes or something like that.
He did. Yeah.
I'm the only one. Like everybody's coming up with like Darth Vader this way. I'm like no. Magnus the Red.
Yeah. Dennis Miller is who I think Razor Fist reminds me the most of. His
his metaphors and analogies are Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
And then his yelling is Sam Kinison.
Mm-hmm.
I love Razor Fist. I think I was like the day he started following me, I was like, oh, I feel like I won an Academy Award. He actually followed me back.
Right.
Yeah, I was. He followed me as well. Actually, he retweeted me a couple of times this last week. Some of the geek stuff I've done and posted, and I'm like, dude, no one pays attention to me. What the hell are you doing retweeting me?
Found them. There they are. I was looking for my pin vice drill. I haven't used them in a long time, and I'm like, where did I put those things? And they are in my toolbox here.
Mictobus apparently likes our paint shakers, Rollo.
Oh, really?
He likes them for a different reason.
He needs to get one. He needs to get one because his wifey would love it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's between your legs.
Here, Robert, go get a paint can. Go get something to shake. Get a paint thing to shake. Here, I'll get this.
Okay.
I'll do mine.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, here, ready?
On three.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, baby, do it.
That's for you, Mictobus.
That's right. Harder.
There you go. There's your cheap thrill. That's equivalent of a Don DeMarco on this show.
Right. No, the Don DeMarco is the
Don DeMarco.
I attacked the darkness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Now I've got my pin vice drill, which is what I've been looking for the last half hour.
Yeah, I'm sure this crowd has no idea what you're talking about, Mictobus.
Don DeMarco. What was he saying?
It reminds me of a Sabian for some odd reason.
Oh yeah. Well, Sterling Cooper would know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. You know what he's talking about.
Of course.
I think we all know what he's talking about, but I was trying to give us plausible deniability. Vince has none.
I mean, it is Vince, so I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, actually, there's no proof of it now since I got rid of his Instagram.
Yes,
I know. That's funny.
I got banned.
That's funny. Did you get banned? Oh, really?
I got banned on Instagram for showing part of an areola.
Yeah, the crescent of an areola.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you got like chicks that's like showing full up ass shots on.
Fucking.
No, and because nobody reports them, nobody cares. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, they want to see that.
Yeah.
They want to see the full peach.
The full peach. Yes.
The full peach. Not half
What's
peach,
that?
full peach.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Tom from. He's the guy who does my clips channel, and I was saying he's the guy who's like I gaffed the fish for him.
Yeah.
I was. We were talking about. Elon Musk like buying Twitter, right?
He hasn't done.
And he's
shit.
like, yeah. He was like, do you think Twitter's going to go down, or do you think Twitter's going to be like, not what? I go, no. I said, if anything, it'll be better than ever. I said, Twitter will never go away. He's like, why do you say that? I said, porn.
Yeah,
that's the only. That's really the only. You want to know what they have that nobody else has? Porn.
They will allow.
Yeah, hardcore pornography,
hardcore porn, nudity, all the weird shit. Yeah,
so that's why
start posting that.
That's why Instagram will never kill Twitter, because they don't allow porn. The day that Instagram allows like full up porn on their, which they never will, but if they ever did, that would be the day that like Twitter, it's time for Twitter to worry.
Seriously.
Speaking of Clips channel, how's your Clips channel doing?
It's about we're almost at 100,000 right now. I think we're at like 96,000. Yeah, nice. I started it in August of last year.
Holy shit! So, less than a year. That's really good.
Doing really good. It's like, you know how long it took me to get my channel up to 100,000? Like 3 years, 4 years.
Nice.
Well, it's kind of a no-brainer to do that, because you get guys commenting about, I just want that section of red meat where you're talking about Michaela, doing a Stacey Anthony or whatever.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You did not do that, but that's what everyone thinks,
Yeah. Well, they're like, hey, man, this is 4 hours. I don't have time to watch your shit. And then it goes like this. You did it for 4 hours. I can't. Who can listen? You must really like to listen to your own voice. And so I'm like, yeah, but dude, it's a talk show. And then they're like, and I'm like, and I do it once a week. And they're like, yeah, man, you need to make these things more accessible, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, fine.
You need to shut
And so I actually started the Clips channel not because I'm like, oh, I'm going to monetize this and make a shit ton of money off of it, which I did, which is great. I'm happy to say it's doing well, like money wise, but I didn't start it out that way. I did it because people kept crying to me about like, oh man, I don't know who has time for a 4-hour podcast. All right, here's a Clips. Oh man, these clips are too long. Can you make them shorter? Yeah, seriously. They still want, and so it goes like this. Well, I shouldn't say this. It used to go, I would write a blog post, then I would do a YouTube show about it, then I'd do clips, and then I would do a YouTube short. So you would have a short, which is less than it has to be 59 seconds or less. And then you've got the Clips channel, which usually you don't want to go more than like 12 minutes, and that's a long clip. So that's the Clips, and then you have the long form, which I have to keep doing because, well, first of all, it's what I want to do, and then second of all, it's that supports everything else. So that's just simply how it works out for me right now. But even still, when I do like YouTube Shorts, or I do a reel or something like that. Yeah, YouTube Shorts, right? People still don't watch the short. They just they don't even got 45 seconds to watch the freaking short. They'll just see the title of the video. They'll look at the first 2 comments in the comment thread, and then they'll go, "Oh, this sounds like something I hate. Oh, you suck. Look at your greasy ponytail." They'll say something, just because, or they'll say, this isn't what you think it is, because actually they're going to straighten their tie and their glasses. Yes. And it's like, dude, if you'd actually watched the 45-second clip here, you would realize just how you owned yourself. And like, it's what money. That's what I call, I know, really, thanks for your support. But I'm like, the fact that so many people just, all they want to do is feel heard. Like they don't even want to watch a 45-second clip. They just want to say, oh, the title is something I disagree with.
They want shit to be bothered about.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, so I kept saying it's the too long, ain't nobody got time for that. It's the TLDR generation. And so it's what I call a drive-by comment. They just look at the title and they look at the first 2 or 3, 4 comments in there. And then they go, oh yeah, I don't need to look at this to know that I hate you. And that's what they do. And I'm like, that's if nothing else, I mean, it drives traffic. Don't get me wrong. The only reason I even do shorts is I hardly ever do shorts anymore. But like, when I do, it's just to drive traffic to the main video, which nobody's going to watch anyways because ain't nobody got time for that. The people who would watch shorts in the first place are not going to be the traffic that you think they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it cracks me up because as someone who works and has worked in radio, you know, a lot of gigs at a station is a minimum 4-hour slot. And that's 4 hours every day drive time, or 4 hours every morning. Or, you know, if you're working overnights, that's a whole other.
It's like 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah. It's, you know, so you doing 4 hours every Sunday is nothing.
That's a daily occurrence for a guy like, you know, Pat Campbell back in the day. You know?
Oh yeah.
That's a talk show.
Limbaugh, or you know, any of the talk radio guys. Yeah. I mean, even just working afternoon drive, playing all the classic hits on Oldies 101.9. You know, you're still working a 4-hour shift.
God damn it.
You know.
Yeah. That's what was it? Was it to have a successful like talk show? If you want to have like a buddies talk show, you have to have one guy who has his name is like just letters like BJ and then the other guy has to be it has to be TJ or BJ or CJ or KT.
No grown man should be called BJ.
So one guy has to be just his initials, and then the other guy has to be some kind of food.
Yeah.
like JJ and the taco drives from your commute.
TJ and the cucumber.
TJ and the cucumber.
Yeah. Well, I could totally see the Vince and Cappy show. I mean, that would work.
Right.
Well, what me and Cappy are going to do, right? You know, here's this is the running joke we have is instead of fresh and fit, we're going to do stale and fat, and we're going to get
the fat one.
Well, no. The women are. So we're gonna do the same format of fresh and fit, but we're only going to get like 40 plus soccer moms, divorcees, and like disaffected women who like are just want to Karens, right?
Basically, Clary's wife.
So. So Cappy's going to hit the Walmart there and
you know what? There is no shortages of those women who would love to do exactly that. And I was of course I started this as a joke, stale and fat, but I thought about it for a while and I go, if you could put this in the right demographic at the right city or whatever, it would that would totally work.
Yeah. It would be the joke's on them, but still they do it.
Stale and fat. And then people think, which one is stale and which one's fat?
They both
you are.
All the stuff you've researched and all the stuff you've written, there's no way you don't know by now that for the dopamine hit, you'll get volunteers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It just
as it stands right now, and so how many people do we have in the chat?
7.
One of the reasons I'm going to be extending my stay in Miami next week is because I will be meeting with Patrick Bet-David, and he's the guy who runs Valuetainment. And I don't know if you guys have been.
My Life John was talking about him.
Yeah, of course he was, because I'm the one that got him the gig. That's why Donovan's going to be on there as well, right? So
son of a bitch.
Yeah, whenever Jamar Life John start popping off about, oh man, I'm so important. Most of the time it's because I put your name on a list, dude.
God damn it, John.
I've been working with Valuetainment since February of this year. Of course, what was funny is it was a shock to John when I said, dude, I've been doing this show since February, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? And he goes back and because he thought that he was just getting called out of the blue. And I'm like, no, dude, I put you on a list of a lot of these guys who were at the CME. And he's like, oh, thanks. And I was like, you're welcome, dude. And,
Poor
and of course, of course, I don't tell him. I also put Donovan Sharp on there. I put Ryan Stone on there. I put Kevin Stavos. Yeah, I would love to get Clary on there. I will be on I'll be on Adam Sosnick's show on this coming Thursday, a week from today, with George Gammon and Tori from Tor Show will be on with me. And Tori's been on with me. This will be the third time I've been on with Tori.
How did you
get her? How did you know her?
I mean, what's the deal?
That's it. how many people are in this chat? Should I say?
Only 8.
No. She's okay. First off, no, she's not my daughter.
No, I didn't think she was.
No, I'm not banging her, and no,
why not?
she is not. No, she is. She's my sister wife. That's why. She's a sister. She's a sister wife.
There you go.
She's part of the soft harem. Put it that way. She is also not one of my because she used to be. Well, she still is a bartender, right? She works as a bartender. So people were presuming that I knew her from when I was working in wine and spirits. No, that's not the truth of the matter either. But because if that was the case, she would have been about 14 when I was doing that. I would have been doing that because she's 27 right now.
Oh, okay. So, that was my next question too. How old is she?
She's actually 27.
She's a young.
She's a smoke show. I think she's a good. I mean, people go, oh, she's got a horse nose. She's got a horse face. Like incels will find anything.
A good look at her, but
she's got a very.
She seems okay.
She's attractive. And she's very nice too. She's very sweet. She's a really good chick. But I don't think that comes across when people see her. They go, she looks like the stereotypical thought, right? But she's not on Instagram. You're not gonna. Well, she's on Instagram. But you're not gonna find her on OnlyFans. She has no OnlyFans. She is. I met her. The story behind this is I met her in August of last year, because she was a TikTok girl and she had a lot of play, and she was very popular on TikTok. And a lot of the people who were talking about me on her show said, you really need to interview Rollo Tomasi. And so
do that again, Vince. Show you
what?
Show your miniature again while Rollo is talking, please.
Oh, okay.
That's your album. I like that one better than mine.
Yeah, he's kind of cool. It's just a base right now. I got to go into.
I love the model. The model's awesome.
The model's very cool. He's very bulky and hostile right here. He's very like, I'm gonna come down and tear your fuck. He's very hostile, and it's a hostile sculpt. Very hostile sculpt. I like it.
I kill you. Yeah. So I met her in August of last year in Miami because she was there. I think she was trying to do some kind of real estate deal, or she happened to be there for some financial reason. I don't know what exactly. And then I happened to be doing Fresh and Fit at that time. And she says, hey, let's meet up. I want to do an interview with you on my TikTok channel. I'm like, all right. So I met her, and then we just kind of hit it off. And I mean, she's an attractive girl. I like her look, put it that way. And so she asked me, she says, hey, I'm not getting anywhere on TikTok. I really want to transition over from TikTok to YouTube. And I go, well, that's a really difficult thing to do, but she's been doing it pretty successfully, because like girls who are like popular on TikTok have a really tough time transferring over to YouTube. Wow, because on TikTok, all you gotta do is be stupid and funny for like 45 seconds and show your tits and just be entertaining for 45 seconds. That's easy for most women to do. It's another thing to go and sit down.
That's about all they can handle anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's another thing.
All they can really handle.
It's another thing for women to sit down and be entertaining for 2 solid hours, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just been working with her. I brought her on Fresh and Fit while I was out there in August. And then I've just been doing stuff kind of like behind the scenes with her for a while. Same with Kevin Savo. I've kind of got a new group of guys that are people that I work with, who I call my new mutants, right? I'm Professor X and they're my new mutants. And so it's kind of like the old, like Rule Zero is kind of like the X-Men to me. And like, I'm Professor X and they're my X-Men, right? But then like there's the new mutants, which is sort of like the new kids, right? The up and comers. And so I include her in that list. Like she's one of my new mutants. And like Kevin Savo and the Savo brothers in general, they're definitely on the new mutants list. I hang out with this guy named Giovanni, who is a really talented musician, but he's very much red pill. And he plays, he's a black guy, but he plays the style of music that I do in Trial of Ascension. So, which is like, I'm like, oh man, I can get behind this. So, and I really like, he's a really good kid and he's easy to work with. He's one of my new mutants. And I got some other guys that I like, people don't know that I work with. I would consider like Derek Thomas and his brother O'Neill. They're part of the New Mutants now too. So it's like I'm trying to sort of develop a new superhero team, I guess.
Yeah.
Just because First of all, I don't just sit on my money like Scrooge McDuck and like freaking hoard my cash or whatever. I like to do things with my money, and I like to invest it in people like, for instance, like Kevin Savo. He's an independent filmmaker essentially.
Yeah, I like Kevin
dude.
a lot. I would actually like to work with him. I am scheduled sometime in the next month to get new headshots done, and I am really tempted to send him some headshots and a resume because I would love to work with him. Because,
well, I tell you, here's the story behind Kevin. Is I met Kevin before I met Tori, of course. But Kevin was persistent, and he started following me on Instagram. And he said, "Hey, I'm Kevin Savo. I do independent films. I got this thing called Savaho. Can you check it out? Blah blah blah." Savo. Right? But yeah, but because his name is Savo, right?
Savo,
That's what his real name is. So
makes sense.
So I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. And I looked at it and I go, this is kind of goofy and funny, but still, it's red pill, right? It's accessible. It's funny. It's entertaining. It's meant to be. It's not meant to be serious. And so I'm like,
but the message is still there.
Exactly. I said, this is really good stuff. And so he's like, will you appear in a cameo? And so I did the cameo appearance with him on let's see, episodes. I think it was episode 2 or 3. I'm not really sure which one, but I did I played a villain. I tried to play.
You played an Italian mobster, didn't you?
Well, no, actually, you know who I played as? Have you ever watched Breaking Bad?
I know of it, but I've never watched it.
There's a character in there who's sort of like the hitman. His name is Mike in Breaking Bad. Anybody watching this who has watched Breaking Bad knows who Mike is. You cannot watch Breaking Bad and not know who Mike is. And Mike was my inspiration for the villain that I was playing. And I'm like, how am I going to do? I'm like, okay, I hadn't done acting in a long time. I used to do stage acting quite a bit. And I actually played Macbeth. In a version of Macbeth, but I hadn't done anything like this in a very long time. And I'm like, okay, what should be my inspiration? I'm like, Mike. Mike from Breaking Bad is what I wanted it to be.
Mike the
assassin. So I was a hitman actually in the actual the cameo, and I had a good amount of lines. It took probably about 2/3 of a day to do that scene. And then I did a cameo. If you ever watched "Thought Mommies in the Club," the music video,
I have seen that. That's pretty funny.
I'm also in that in a cameo in that. Like I appear here and there, and people love that. That actually turned out to be a really good thing. And I'll tell you, here's the thing: is when he hit me up and he says, "Will you be in a cameo in my thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "We'll fly you out, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "It's okay. I'll take care of myself, right?" And so I went out there and I just did this on a whim. Like I didn't have to.
Where was it located?
In Connecticut.
Connecticut. What?
Yes. In
Naugatuck,
Connecticut. And,
Naugatuck, Connecticut.
I had never been there in my life.
I never even fucking heard of it.
And so I stayed there for I think 2 or 3 days, and then I took off and I met him, and we just kind of hit it off. And I'm like, this is the kind of project, this is the kind of dude that I want to have something to do with. And his whole family, by the way, Mark Savo, his other like he's one of 3 brothers. Yeah, and so there's Kevin, who's the oldest, and then there's Rocky, who's like 23, Rocky. And then there's Mark. Mark, I believe, is 20 or 21. And then there's their half brother, Nicky, who I think is 19. So it's like these 4 guys. Yeah. And they were actually in Miami last time I was there in May. And they're like Rocky and myself and Kevin are doing Bullwinkle? No. Rocky is in like Rocky, like the fighter, like Rocky, like Sylvester Stallone, because they're like really into Sylvester Stallone. Right? Gotcha. And so I hooked up with these guys and I did the thing, and I was like, when I first got there, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? And then by the time I left, I'm like, man, I want to hang out an extra week, right? Because they were really cool dudes. Like, what can we do now? And then I thought about it, and I actually came back to something I think I told you guys back in the day. Remember when we were having that conversation about like
Yeah,
I think it was
we
with
talked
Jeff,
about
with
it. Yeah,
Jeff,
I remember it well.
with Jeffro, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
And
okay.
and we're like, you guys were like, oh, are they coming for everybody? And we're like, yeah, they're coming for everybody. And then I think somewhere along the line, somebody said, we have to create our own culture
Mhm.
Yeah,
because
we all were saying
because
that.
otherwise it's going to be. I think we were talking about Star Wars, right? We were talking about how
Yeah.
horrible the last 3 movies were because
That's putting it mildly.
Catherine, whatever her name is, really fucked everything
Kathleen
up.
Kennedy, yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy, yeah. And
That bitch.
and then I think we were talking about, like, I was talking about Warhammer, even, like how woke it's becoming, and Wizards of the Coast,
It's been
and
woke
Magic the
for almost a
Gathering, and
decade
Dungeons
now.
and Dragons, and it's just like, I mean, even
It's
Jeffro
bad.
still has to fight against the woke mob, and he's just talking about original D&D, right?
Mhm.
And I think
Yeah.
we said something about, like, I said this. I said, if you want to make $1 million, write the next Han Solo, write
Exactly.
the next Captain Kirk, and do it unapologetically, because if you do those things, if you create the culture, you create the books that you want to read and the stories you want to see, yeah, you're still going to have people coming after you. But if you can do it sort of unapologetically and write an otherwise toxically masculine character, I said, you will see just how popular that character becomes.
Wait till my detective pulp novella comes out, Laser Dicks.
Yep. Well, how awesome would it be if you took Laser Dicks, and you had Kevin Sabo do a short film on it, right?
I would love to have him do that.
And so that's why I think there's a necessity for the New Mutants, New Mutants, right? I mean, there's a necessity for that, and I'm like, okay, instead of talking about it, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah,
right. And I'm gonna help these guys. I'm gonna fund their project. We're gonna do an NFT. We're gonna do a documentary about the Manosphere. But I also want to do creative projects, because I can't sit there and talk about how great it would be, how much money you'll make if you write the next Han Solo or Captain Kirk. I have to go do it. Nobody else is going to do it. Well, if I'll take my own advice and make $1 million off of pushing back against the narrative, then why not? So,
yeah, absolutely.
So you have to develop like relationships with people. That's why when John from Modern Life Dating is just so surprised when suddenly the guys from Valuetainment call him. It's like, yeah, because I developed the relationship with those people so they would fucking call you in the first place,
right?
And you can't just sit in your fucking studio and do just podcast after podcast with the same camera, the same setup, the same lighting, the same shit over and over and over again, and expect to get a call from Patrick Bet-David.
Yeah.
You have to go out and you have to make these connections, and that's why I'm starting this sort of my New Mutants, right? My new team. Because I mean, I'll always be a part of Rule Zero. Those are my X-Men. That's never going to change. But like, you've got to get out there, and if we're going to talk about like money, muscles, and game or whatever, like even just sitting here with you guys, where we're shooting the shit, and I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but it's fucking awesome that people will
getting the word out there. Yeah,
you're getting the word out one way or another. This morning, for example, you guys didn't even know this. I did an interview with this woman, actually. Her name is Maz Hakim or something like that. She is the number one DJ or number one talk show in Dubai. And I had to get up crack of dawn early because 6:10 p.m. there is 7:10 a.m. here.
Jesus Christ!
And so I'm like, okay, screw it. I'll get up for that. So, and it was all of 25 minutes of an interview, but like, it's already like the best freaking interview they've ever had. They already want me to come back and do another one, right?
Oh, nice.
And so that's what I'm talking about. And who doesn't know anything about that? John from Modern Life Dating. Nobody knows anything about it. But I'll tell you this: the people in Dubai sure as hell know about it. So, and that's all. So you have to go out there and you have to forge new relationships and new networks, and you have to do creative projects. So, like when people go, well, what are you working with Tori for? She's just a hot piece of ass. It's like, no, she's got potential to do so much more than that. She's not selling her butthole on freaking OnlyFans. That's the thing. That's her. You know what her thing is? She's not doing that.
That her shtick is she's not doing that. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Keep my baby off the pole, And then she's just one of many other, people that I'm kind of working with, either like fully or half-assed wise. But like the guy was it Derek Thomas and his brother O'Neill Thomas. So they were at the CME last month. You have no idea who they are. Like nobody else does. Nobody knows who. Like I did a photo shoot with Mike Tang, who is a fucking legend in photography, and nobody Like I'll say, hey, Myron Fresh, you should really get Mike Tang on, because in like Miami, he is a celebrity in Miami because he's a photographer and he made a name for himself by going and taking pictures of the hottest women on planet fucking Earth. And he has a style and an experience and everything. And I know him because he follows me on Instagram. Again, another relationship that I developed simply because I said yes. And I did a photo shoot with him. Kevin was with me too. But I did a photo shoot with him, but he shoots like some of the most beautiful women that you will ever like just shit. Go look up Mike Orangutan on Instagram, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's like, I go, hey, Fresh, you should really get him on the show. And Fresh is like, who? I'm like, dude, you gotta check, you gotta get out of the studio and go and talk to these people and get out there. And Fresh does that, but you have to forge new relationships, and you've got to get new people. Agreed. Like Derek Thomas and O'Neill, his brother. They're bodybuilders and they're in the fitness industry, but they're red pill. And that's what I've been really kind of like, how John always says, money, muscles, and game, like frame is the last one. Well, if that's the case, then we should be focusing on those three aspects. So the muscle side, I need somebody like Derek Thomas, and I need like somebody like his brother to sort of be, ambassadors for the red pill in a fitness space. Like I did you guys see the interview I did with Mark Bell, Mark Bell's Power Podcast? You probably don't know who he is, but I'll guarantee you, Drew Baith, he knows exactly who Mark Bell is.
Probably, yeah.
Because they're huge in the fitness industry. Now, I'm never going to get him on my show because I'm never going to have him as an ambassador for the red pill. But that was me branching out into the muscles side of money, muscles, and game.
Okay,
and then
that makes total sense.
I talked to Robert Kiyosaki last night at midnight after he got done with a date, right? Because nice. I've been counseling and hanging out and talking to Robert. He's sowing
his wild oats, is he?
He is now.
Nice.
And I'm proud of him too, man. He's had a transformation as a result of reading my book and like me working with him.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not trying to gloss myself. I'm just saying, like,
you should totally do that.
No, he's a friend.
Well, I remember you saying that you were like shocked when he gave you his cell number, and you were like, "Oh my god, I'm in his cell phone and I have his number. I can
exactly."
Call him. And
or he'll text me.
Starstruck. That's probably one of the most starstruck I think I've ever seen you.
Yeah, he's right. And if you would have told me like this time like a year ago, oh yeah, you're going to be hanging out with Robert Kiyosaki, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but
right.
But so between Robert Kiyosaki, George Gammon, Ken McElroy, and actually Jason Hartman, who I'm going to be on his show tomorrow morning at 8:00 Pacific time.
You got to write these fucking names down. Is there going to be a quiz?
Yeah, Jason Hartman, Ken McElroy, and George Gammon are all the guys who do Rebel Capitalist. Which, by the way, that's why I'm going out to Miami next week.
Some of these names do sound familiar, though.
George Gammon is is like worth at least as much, if not more, than Robert Kiyosaki. Same with Ken McElroy, because these are guys. You want to talk about money, muscles, and game? These are the money guys, right? They're entrepreneurs. They make their money legitimately, and in real estate, they're anything about personal economics to macroeconomics to taxes and how to Robert Kiyosaki, of course, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right?
That's right. He did write that.
And so I'm working with these guys as well. And so everybody's like shocked when suddenly I'm hanging out with Robert Kiyosaki, or they're shocked when I'm on Patrick Bet-David's show, or they're shocked. Like people don't keep up with what I'm doing.
You don't get it. You just don't.
Well, they don't keep up with it because it's like they're too locked into, okay, what's the next show going to be? What am I going to do in my studio? And it's like, you got to get the fuck out there and meet guys like Kevin Savo so that you can go be in a cameo. Oh, I don't want to be in a cameo. No, you don't, but you're going to want
to be in a cameo. Masculine Geek cameo.
But what comes downstream after that, right? What happens after you do that? After you do the cameo, people say, "Oh, I saw you in Thought Mommies." Oh, cool. Well, let's do something. Okay. Say yes. I think, what was it? Henry Rollins? Henry Rollins was interviewed one time. He says, "What's the secret to your success? Like, how is it that you've gone from being like the singer of Black Flag and you do your spoken word thing?" He's an actor too, so he does like.
Oh yeah, he Never Died is a great movie.
Yeah. So he was telling the interview, he says, "You know what?" He says, "I say yes." He says, "Would you like to be in a movie?" True. Yes. "Would you like to do this?" True. Yes. "Would you like to try this?" Mm-hmm. Yes. He says, "And sometimes it blows up in my face, but you know what? I tried it. I figured out I didn't like it, or I loved it, and I stuck with it." But he says, all I did was go out there and I took every opportunity. When people ask me, he says, you just have to have that drive, and you have to go out there and do it. The power of
networking.
So just say yes."
Yep. That makes total sense.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I gotta go get some food.
Oh shit! It's almost 11:30. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been at this for a while.
I'll hang on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, we'll do this again. This has been a lot of fun. I always like doing these things because I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I just sort of, I don't know. You kind of get in like this. It's like Zen. You get
a flow state.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, this is what we would be doing if we were sitting around a table swapping, hey, pass me the blue or the metallic
stitching
blue.
Bitch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is exactly what we'd be doing. So you guys watching, if you want to do this, get together with some of your buddies and do it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I always tell guys, like they're like, "Oh, I want to, Rollo, I love your book. We're gonna have I'm get a bunch of guys together. We're gonna have a Rational Male book club or something like that." And I'm like, please don't do that. Please, I love you, and I'm glad you love the book, and I'm glad
go out and murder boars.
Exactly. That's what I said. Go out and get together.
Fishing.
Talk about it. Fine. You're on the right track.
Around the table.
But go play D&D. Go do this kind of shit right here. Go fishing. Go shooting. Go play basketball. Whatever your hobby is, whatever your thing is, because that's when when men communicate is when you got some project, you got something that you're doing.
Yeah. Go work on your buddy's Mustang.
Yeah. Fix a car together. Make a Sphinx like this.
Yeah.
Sky ranks.
Build a deck at your buddy's house, and then you guys
I'm gonna paint this
beer afterwards.
You still have to paint it. We need. We'll before you go, we'll definitely get more detail down as far as October is concerned, and get some
sure.
Date and location locked in.
You have anything you need to plug, Rollo?
Yeah, anything you're working on?
Just I will.
Anything?
Well, the show is always the same day. It's Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. I am working on, I don't want to say it's not really technically a second edition of the first book. It's just I'm cleaning up the first book. So that'll be out pretty soon. Oh, and then people are going to ask me this again. When's the audio book coming out for book 5, which is the Player's Handbook? I just talked to Trey yesterday, and we are on schedule. We should be, he said it should be done by the end of this month for Audible. So it'll be either at the end of this month or the beginning of July. But it's almost done, so it will be coming out very, very soon because nobody reads anymore. Everybody listens to their books.
And as someone who's done that kind of stuff, it takes time to do it.
Yes,
because even a 5-minute audio clip can take a half hour to an hour to record.
Yeah.
I used to do short story narration. It would take me fucking 4 or 5 hours.
I'm also speaking of which, I'm also working on some fiction right now too. So
nice. I like it.
When I have spare time, haha. Yeah.
You're not on these streams.
Well, I mean, I'm always traveling. My wife wants. I actually have a wife. I actually want to go do things with her still.
Right.
To her.
So yeah, that too.
More to the point.
So we live by Lake Tahoe and we have jet skis, so we'll probably be doing some video from the Instagram video from Lake Tahoe at some point. Just me, not her, but that will probably do something like that. And then I will be in Miami next week from the 20th to the 28th. I'll be there for Rebel Capitalist. I don't know if anybody watches this, is going to Rebel Capitalist. I'm going to do a workshop there on Friday at 5 p.m. At the it's the Hilton Midtown is the host hotel once again, and I'll be there doing that workshop, and then I will be there the whole weekend for Rebel Capitalist. I will most definitely be on with Fresh and Fit, probably sometime between the 20th and the 23rd. On the 23rd, I'll also be on Adam Sosnick's show. That'll be 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be on with Torsia, and I'll be on with George Gammon. Also, two more of my New Mutants. So
Nice.
we'll be doing that. And I got a lot of irons in the fire right now. So just stay tuned. Well, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and you can always keep up with what I'm doing.
Cool.
Or on this show.
Or on Masculine Geek. And in fact,
yeah.
next Wednesday is going to be Drew's game.
Yeah.
So follow us there. I'll get a.
If I can do that, I will try to do it from the Centric. I'll be at the Centric. I'll be in Miami then. But I'll tell you what, I'll bring my character sheet with me.
You should totally do
that. That'll be fun. I might do that.
Cool.
Well, and you have a chance. You might be killing one of the other player characers next.
Oh, do I get to kill Bint? No,
you should pick Bint up by his ankles and beat someone else with him.
throw him. No throwing. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
All right, go eat. We'll catch up with you later. Thanks for joining us. A pleasure as always. All right, you bastards. That's it for us. I do not work tomorrow. I have off. I'm going on a few motorcycle adventures this weekend. I'd post them on Instagram, but I don't have that Instagram anymore. So yeah. I'll throw them up on my private one. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I got a 4-day weekend coming up.
Yeah.
I got some cool shit.
Areola Crescent. Who knew?
I know, right? Fucking idiots. Fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. I'm assuming that's what it is. I think John was right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what else it could have been. Because, I mean, the thing is, everything you posted was tastefully done. It was like art book tasteful, you know.
Yeah, I don't post porn. I never.
No.
That's it's not something.
That's not your style.
It's definitely not my style. I like art pieces. I like a little, just a notch below pinup.
Yeah, exactly. Titillation.
Exactly. You know? No pun intended, or intended, as the case may be.
Right.
But yeah. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone in the chat that's been in and out, and I've seen a few of the conversations and whatnot. It's always cool to see. And anyone who's listening later, I think on average, we get about 20 to 25 minutes per episode of average watch time, which, not for nothing, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, all right. Until next time, I want you all to keep the home fires burning, keep that lead flying down range, never, ever take any wood nickels, and always, always keep the wine flowing. Robert, anything else you want to add?
Nah, just keep a watch out for us. Hopefully come watch us play D&D next Wednesday, and always be on the watch for a rogue broadcast from one of us. There you go. Exactly. All right. Go outside, go have fun, get off the fucking internet, and keep buying that lead. Absolutely. Keep purchasing that lead, keep it flying down range, and get your fucking asses off the computers and outside, because that's what I'm doing this weekend.